everybody? I'm your host, Eric Bird, here at StopStrugglingNow.com. And tonight, we're going to be talking about it. You fourth quarter, you investors, is it your time to make money safely or risky? But either way, you're on the clock, ladies and gentlemen. It's time and welcome. Stop struggling now, gear. You're the CEO of your life. Check. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. Now, let's get to it. All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. And I want to thank you so much for being here on the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. And please share the videos because you never know who's looking for extra help, who's looking for information, and who's not looking for information. And then, of course, they find out, wait a minute, no credit check, no qualifying, no barriers to entry. Really? Real estate, assets, 30% return on your money? Dividend investing? Hold on a second. What else is he saying? Yes, I'm trying to buy a real estate, apartments, hotels, and I can't get funding, but they can help me with funding. Yes, that's what we do here, ladies and gentlemen. It's the SSN Nation. Stop struggling now. The No Guru Zone. Now, let's see who's in the house because first up, please check the chat room and make sure you share the video like I just mentioned. That would be greatly appreciated. But you will notice, let me see, did I put it here? Yes. Our own Professor Auntie Val. She has started her own coffee business, otherwise known as Beachfront Java. So we got to show some love. Just like anybody who's a subscriber or a member of the channel, if you have a business, of course, we'd show some love. So therefore, she has a special promo for SSN Lifestyle family members. What's that promo? You simply use promo code SSN Lifestyle, all caps, all one word, and you go to Beachfront Java. After your first order, every order thereafter for life is 10% off by using that promo code from the first time, the second time, and every time. Once you do that, free shipping in the United States. After you do that, then you realize, wow, 15, 16, 18 different types of coffee that comes in a Ziploc bag from premium beans from Africa, Indonesia, Central America, South America. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It's not the sorry old beans. It's premium blend beans. And they come in drip ground, fine ground for the espresso. You have that Keurig machine. She has Keurig. And what about tea? Tea's on tap as well, ladies and gentlemen. I'm kind of excited about this because she has 5-star reviews from everybody that's ordered thus far from the SSN Nation. So go show some love. Coffee is the number one drink in the world. Let's see what else. She's first up, in fact. Welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. Auntie Val with the icon next to her name. That means she's a member of the channel as well, so I appreciate that. And she brings her tagline, good evening, fam. She shows the heart. She shows the strength with the cup of Beachfront Java. And she says, got the notification and trailer. That's right. Let me know if you received the notification and trailer, please. And she says, have a cold, so can't hang out. But I did want to check in. Thank you so much for checking in. Catch you all Wednesday. Well, we hope you get a lot better. We have to act like the doctor here. Drink plenty of fluids and get rest. There's a reason you drink plenty of fluids in case you're not up to it in medical terms. Reason why? Because you have to get the fever out. How can you get the fever out and help it get out? Well, one way is making you have to go to the bathroom. That's why they always say drink plenty of fluids. Now you're understanding. So that's the thing, ladies and gentlemen, for starters, the simplest thing. And then make sure you get some vitamin C's and things like that. But nonetheless, Jawway J is here. Welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. He's another investor. He's not just a fourth quarter investor. He's year-round investor looking to make things happen. And welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream with the icon next to your name. And he says his tagline this evening. Hello, SSN Nation. Hope everyone is doing well. Received notification and saw the trailer. That's 2 people. Are we going to break the record tonight? Well, we'll find out as we go along because it's the fourth quarter, investors. What are you going to do? October, November, and December? Are you making changes as the stock market takes a hit? September, true to form, just like we talked about last month when we did a live stream and I was illustrating what month does stocks go down? Traditionally, September. Well, true to form, September, it happened. Now it's very nice to find out what's going to happen the rest of the year. Well, lots of people are saying it's going to be dire. Well, we're going to see. Victor Marrero is here. Welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. He too has the icon next to his name, which I thank you so much for that. And he too is an investor in the house and a new to be retiree. It's exciting. He's going to be able to travel all over the world whenever he wants, how he wants, whenever he goes. He's going to be in that retirement mode shortly. And he brings his tagline. Hello, all. Let's do this. And that's exactly what we're trying to do around here because we have to make things happen. And do not be complacent, ladies and gentlemen. Do not be complacent at all. Well, this is very interesting. I have something that happened in the back office, which is very, very interesting. My Aweber, which I use to send out messages, it all of a sudden they've changed. They changed the back office without any warnings. So I don't even know how to send out messages anymore, which is very, very funny. Dominican Today. Well, the weekly Dominican Today has just now been dropped. And in case you don't know, Punta Cana decided to add a train between them and Santo Domingo for all you Dominican Republic investors. What does that mean? Well, you have a train going back and forth to Punta Cana, which is the #1 tourist destination in the Dominican Republic. And then you have it going to Santo Domingo, which is the #1 most populated city in the Dominican Republic. I think that's a win-win for both sides. But I do know this. Previously, people from Santo Domingo having to drive 2 hours, 2.5 hours to get to their destination. Now they can sit on a nice little train ride like we're in the Eurozone. I love this. More people from Santo Domingo will probably be taking that train ride with their friends and family, especially if they have, that drinks in each car. Now we're talking. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is all news for us here. But what else do we have? Here we go. Victor Marrero hit it right on the head because what do we talk about on Money Making Monday? You know what we don't talk about? Signing up for our courses to give us 500, 5,000 and calling the Panda Club when you could actually put your money into, guess what? Dividend stocks that return 1.5% to 2% per month on your investment, over 20% annually. It's going down, ladies and gentlemen. Why is it going down? Because when the stock market goes down and dividend stocks go down, that means the dividend yield at the new stock buy price is higher. We're going to have to check this out because I want to see what YieldMax ETFs are today after the stock market. And he's telling the truth. Dividends are saving the day. They keep me coming fast and furious. And since Victor Marrero said that, I'm just going to show you what we're talking about here, ladies and gentlemen. So you're not going to be left out of the loop. YieldMax ETFs.com. I've talked about this almost every day, and I should have been talking about this for the last year. Victor Marrero, Brian P. mentioned this 6, 8, 9, 10 months ago when he was studying for his options trading. And here we are But it's still not too late, because at these type of ridiculous returns, yes, ladies and gentlemen, I'm almost embarrassed to talk about it, but I'm just going to show you what's on the screen. I'm not going to say anything. I'm going to let you figure it out. What do you want to do about this? Check it out, ladies and gentlemen. We talk about this every Monday now because it's Money Making Monday. Who else is telling you about this on live streams every time? Yeah, they want you to buy some courses when in fact all they had to do was tell you, hey man, instead of giving us $2,000, why don't you put into this? Get 30% return on your $2,000 annually. $600 on $2,000 apparently from this OARK. That's right. Everybody that's listening on podcast, O is in Oscar, A is in Apple, R is in Robert, K is in Kevin. 32.17% at the OARK price, which is probably $14, $13 a share. You can pick these up on Robinhood, Webull, Fidelity, Schwab, ET Trade, Ameritrade, whatever the case is, whatever brokerage account you have, these stock symbols are there. You can buy them down below in the description box in case some of you are going free stocks. From where? Robinhood, Webull. Please use the links down below. And then once you have Robinhood and Webull, share with your family and friends and other people, because guess what? You get free stocks when you share and other people download. They don't have to deposit until Webull changed last month. You have to deposit 1 cent or more into Webull to get the 5, the 10, the 12 free shares of stock. But if somebody tells you you can earn 50%, you're going to think in your head, okay, you're lying, because numbers wise, this is a Ponzi scheme usually, but it's licensed and regulated on the stock market, SEC. They are doing something a little bit different. So what do? See on the right-hand side where they say disclosures? Here's what you do. You go over here to disclosures and you sit here and just look around. You say, okay, let me find out what's going on over here. Social media disclosures, charges, risks, charges, and expenses. That's right. All ETFs have expenses, but here's the thing. You go look here and you go, they're showing OARK. Then you come over here, option income strategy ETF. You come down here and find out how much they have in there. Look, it says 77 million sent out this past year. As long as you sign up by October 6th, then you're probably going to receive part of a dividend payout by October 18th. How sweet is that, right? That just gives you an idea. And then every month thereafter, around the 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th, you're going to receive a return on that dividend that you invested. It's not that hard. It's not really that hard, ladies and gentlemen. You see, it's that simple. But the thing I want people to see is this is outrageous right here, 50% on your money. If that's possible, even if it was 20%, that's outrageous as well. But when you start doing 50% distributions, that is significant. Look at this, TSLY, NVDY, because they've dropped. Now, here's what I'm going to show you, because a lot of people are thinking these stocks are like $100, $200. No, you and everybody else can get into these. There's no explanation other than the fact you have to go study. You have to go understand what the investment is. That's your job. You're the CEO of your life. Don't let anybody tell you just go do this or just go do that. What's happening here? $22.37 a share. That's N as in Nancy, V as in Victor, D as in David. This is A, should be Y. Okay, NVDY, $22.37. Went up 2.5%. Isn't this very, very interesting today? And then we go over here to Tesla, which is the most shorted stock right now, apparently, $13.85. These are the two that are claiming 50% dividend. That's what, at the present current rate, that's what they would get. That's almost like unheard of. I don't believe it. It's hard to believe. People are in denial. People can't believe they're going to get paid out dividends. That's how crazy these rates are. But why don't you find out how they're doing it? That's part of doing your own due diligence here, ladies and gentlemen. Knowledge is powerful. So All I wanted to show you was real quickly is that, hey, what can I tell you? It's not that hard, especially in this day and age. But what will be hard is when they reduce interest rates starting next year, when money is freely flowing and the stock market starts going up and these stocks start going up. Well, that means your dividend yield levels will go down. All right. Just keep that in mind. That's why when you have the fourth quarter that has started off with a bang, let's just call it September, October, if they continue to slide down ever so slightly, that's a good sign for dividend investors, because that means new dividends that you reinvest is going to reinvest at a lower price point. We love that for you. All right. So we can only sign up for it if you do something. You have to be proactive here if you want to make the money. But of course, I can tell you all this, but you want to know the real truth of the matter? You know what's very funny is a lot of people, I'm not saying it's you, but a lot of people are sitting around going, man, I wish I would have done this. I wish I would have done that. Well, see, here's the thing. 90%, there's a reason there's a top 10% in every field, because they are the ones that's going to take the continual risk. They're the ones who's also going to take L's, but don't give up. Here's the situation again. We can tell you about 30% returns, 20% dividends, 15% dividends, but only about 10% of you, 1 out of 10, is actually going to go buy the stock. That's how it is. That's why there's a top 10% in every field, no matter what field you're in. All right. So keep those thoughts in mind as we talk tonight, because this is the Money Making Monday live stream. And look who else is in the house, ladies and gentlemen. We have Curtis Davis here, otherwise known in this YouTube street as Mr. Financial. He has the icon next to his name. Welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream with the icon next to his name. And he brings his tagline. His tagline simply says, good evening, SSN family. Good evening to you. And he says ABMM. In case you're new here, that means always be making money. How can you always be making money? One, you're working at a job. So congratulations, everybody that has a nice job, but you're going to be waking up tomorrow going to that job. Nothing wrong with that. All right. But you got to put some of your money away to make it work for you. Second thing, always be making money. Number 2, passive income ideas, which we just gave you, dividend investing. We can go into real estate investing. We can go into owning businesses or starting businesses. We can go into a bunch of different things like we have in the past. But we're just giving you ideas tonight because the fourth quarter, investors, you better be paying attention. You don't need to keep money in a bank. That's scary right now. You need to worry about interest rates and debt right now, because the only thing that's about to happen, more than likely, if things get a little bit crazier, debt is going to be restricted. So you may get that call up one day where you said, man, I used to have that $25,000 credit limit. And they say, you know what? We're in a too high risk of a neighborhood. We're going to have to reduce it to half. And you were counting on some of that money, or credit, shall I say. That is the things that are going to start happening. Bank runs are happening right underneath your nose. That's right. Banks don't have money in them, as you may know. So a lot of things are happening, but I'm loving what I see. The housing market still hasn't come down. But before I get any further into this, always be making money. One of the ways, why don't you do some social media? Why not YouTube? Why not TikToks? Why not Instagram? Why not Facebook? Why not Snapchat? So what does Mr. Financial do? He starts his own YouTube channel known as, I'm having a blank right now. I don't believe it. He's going to have to put it in the chat room. Mr. Financial here. I'm Mr. Cold Hard Facts. And so he's going to put in the chat room what his channel name is, so you guys can go put that @ sign in front of it and go to it. He has over 1,000 subscribers. So why don't you guys go over there and show some love? So I will see if he's still here. So he's going to find out. Vanessa Comagate's in the house. Welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. She has the icon next to her name. And you know what she's known as in these YouTube streets? She's known as the seamless genius. That's right, the Airbnb of malls. Check. Shark Tank. Check. Disneyland business. Check. The Beauty Emporium. Check. And now she has something new that she discussed. I don't know if she was able to put it together, but ladies and gentlemen, you never want to miss when she starts talking about some seamless genius stuff, because it's something everybody can do. Last time it was getting a mailbox business started by using a simple retail location and getting the mailboxes from, well, you can find used ones. You can find some at the auctions. You have several ways. You don't have to go out here and buy them for $2,000, $5,000, $10,000 directly from a mailbox seller. You can find them from other businesses that went out of business to get in a lower entry point, so your ROI is recouped a lot faster. So anyhow, let's see what else she's bringing. Her tagline: hey, boss and SSN fam, hello to you. Busy, but wanted to say hello, fam. Thank you so much. Hello to you. Victor Marrero. Here we go. He says TSLY is the beast. A $25K investment will bring you over $1K per month, and you still maintaining the principal. Exactly, Victor Marrero. That is dividend investing at its best. I mean, this is insane. This is 12.5. He's exactly right. That's $12,500 annually on a 20K, 50%. Oh, but Victor Marrero, you know what's okay? I'm going to tell you guys something else. It does bring you 1K, but picture this. Imagine you reinvesting the 1K. So now the next month you have 26K. The next month you have 27K at the same 50% rate. That now means you went up to $1,100.50 per month in 2 months. This is going way fast. You need to get money in there, ladies and gentlemen, ASAP. ASAP. I'm going to have to do, I just can't believe they're giving this away. I understand how they're making the money because they're doing it from the trades and options. So there's a way they're doing it, because otherwise it doesn't make any sense. It would have to be a Ponzi scheme, right? But it's not. SEC regulated on the stock market. So there you go. Check it out. And he says, think about it. What bank gives you that? This is like another pension for many. It's exactly a pension, Victor Marrero. This is so insane. You put, I just can't, it's hard to describe, because ladies and gentlemen, if you're able to get, we did something last week, but at this 50% numbers, I get so excited when I hear this, because I'm going to tell you guys something. We started with $500. $500. What you don't realize is $500 a month. If TSLY is around, we didn't even use TSLY. We used OARK with a 30% increase, because I didn't want to do 50%, because it starts getting even more ridiculous. Because you could do something in 5 years. You put down $500, which a lot of people can do. Then you do $50 per month, which means you're adding $600 per year. First of all, the 50 ends up being $750, plus you put in another $600. So you're at the $1,300 year one, and every year you're at 50% more. So when you start breaking it down, 1,500, then half of that, 750, then half of that, all of a sudden at about year 10, things start skyrocketing. And actually it's a little bit before year 10, because now, like Victor Marrero's talking about 25K, when you have 25K and it's 1,000 per month plus, next thing you know, it's 12, then it's 13, then it's 15, then it's 20, then it's 26. It starts escalating and snowballing real fast, but you got to be in it to win it, ladies and gentlemen. We talk about this all the time. Thank you very much, Victor Marrero, for bringing it up again. Chili Davis, he responds. He says it right here. Chili Davis, check out. Chili Davis, ladies and gentlemen, go to the chat. Go to youtube.com at Chili Davis. See it in the chat room. There you go. Go sign up, show some love. He gives out financial news and updates and information morning, noon, and night. And you just never know. He might drop it after midnight. But once again, this is why you get the love in this house. This is why you need to go show him some love. Subscribe, click the all notification bell, and then watch some of his videos. Hit the like button because he's part of the SSN Nation. And there you go. See, he's here. Chili Davis. Go check it out. And please follow. Exactly right. And he's on several other platforms as well. So I want to say thank you, Mr. Financial, for helping people out as well. Paul Castillo, another investor's in the house. He says, Victor, this sounds too good to be true. What's the catch? Paul Castillo, there's no catch. There's no catch. It's a dividend stock. Just like I will go to something else. I'll show you something else. Those, there's no catch. They do have a what is it, 1% fee annually, but I don't think anybody's going to care about a 1% fee. Here we go. I'm going to show you. We talked about these before, which are REITs. As long as the Federal Reserve says we're not going to increase interest rates, then everybody's happy. The REITs are operating at, oh, it went down. Now look, 24%. 24% yield. What's the catch? It's a REIT. Stock market went down. People believe there's going to be an implosion. REITs have to give out 90% of their returns. So what we're going to find is Armor, which is here. Look at this. It's all going to be the 20% type stuff. 23.47. Opportunities knocking anybody? Okay, look, do your own research. This is your time. The fourth quarter is here. They have messed up. Remember, I used to always say this. When the wealthy mess up, this is the only time the ordinary citizens like us, the OCs, we're the only time. That's the only time you can win. They always mess up. Why? Because they're hoarding as much money, assets that they can, but they're hoarding it by using debt. That's the problem. It's all not all. A lot of it's leveraged. So therefore, you have to pay it back. And when there's a blip in the economy where things may go up or down or an increase in interest rates, that hurts them. So they have to start doing different things. It's not like a free-for-all when they're cutting interest rates, which is going to happen next year. All right. They're not going to do it in December, I don't think, because they said in their meeting last month that they're going to cut 2 times next year, which is very interesting, forecasting that, hoping that their friends got a hint, hoping that there wouldn't be a market meltdown, and hoping their friends can wait 6 or 8 months. Well, we're going to find out if they're going to wait 6 or 8 months, because I highly doubt it. I'm still waiting for that December cut, because they're not going to leave their buddies out here to dry. And they're not going to allow you to earn 20-some% on your money. Do you guys understand what that means? 20, 30% potentially on a reinvestment? That means in actuality, if this says 23.47, you're probably going to be at 25 or 26 by year's end from the reinvestment, and it's earning more money. That is outrageous. So I'm just saying. Now, let's go to something a little more reasonable, you might say. You guys know all of these. Write them down. That's why you should be on a pen, pad, and paper. Look at this. AGNC is now at 15%. This is outrageously crazy. A as in Apple, G as in George, N as in Nancy, C as in Charles. And look at the on the right-hand side, there's NLY. Look at this. Look at this. 14%. Anybody? You guys happy yet? Let's go look at JEPI. JEPI is JP Morgan. It should be a little, 52.96. Oh, this might be back up to, yes, it's back up to 11%. Yes. And JP Morgan, you guys know who that is. That's like a Fed bank. You know Chase Bank, JP Morgan. That's them. They're like a Fed bank. 11% from those guys, I'll take it. Because I know no matter what happens, they're bailing out JP Morgan. We know this. If SHIT hit the fan, you know who they're bailing out. This is one of the banks they're bailing out. If Mellon Bank, that'd be one of the banks they're bailing out as well. All right, Bank of America, they'd be bailing them out too, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm glad you're here tonight because this is an excellent, excellent, sterling edition for tonight. Whatever money you put in there, it's crazy. All right, Jaway J. Eric, please do that illustration you did Friday from investor.gov. Okay, all right, he's asking for it. He's asking for it. Investor.gov. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. This is what he's talking about. Don't want to scare people. So when somebody like Paul Castillo goes, what's the catch? Well, Paul Castillo, here's the catch. Shh. They don't want people to really know about it, but good news. There's social media out here. And good Raider news is that we have some investors in the house that found out about it like 9, 8, 10 months ago, and they were sharing it the whole time. But now it's even higher than before, except for TSLY at one point was 60-some%, like a month and a half back. That was crazy. 50% is equally as crazy. So here's what he's talking about, ladies and gentlemen, because this is what scares me. This is really what scares me because okay, here we go. Here's what Victor Marrero was talking about, $25,000, right? I'm not going to put in a monthly contribution, all right? I'm just going to put in like 5 years just to give people an idea. Interest rate, 50, which is actually 51 right now. No variance. We're not compounding annually because if you were compounding annually, it'd be 25% at, 25,000 at 50% simple interest. That means you're going to have 12,500. But they pay out every month. So I put in monthly because you receive, whether it's 83 cents, whether it's 36 cents every month for every share you own. So now we hit calculator. And all of a sudden, you see in 5 years, 289,000. But here's the very interesting thing. What if you did something simple? $50 a month, adding $600 per year. Let's see if that changes things. 302. But here is the real kicker. Let's just say this ETF is around for 10 years. And all you did was not even put any more money in. No further contribution, and you just let it ride. This right here, look at this, ladies and gentlemen. This is ridiculous. $3 million. I don't know if this fund's going to be around 10 years. They should be. They're doing options as part of, and they're buying treasuries. Treasuries right now, they can get it around almost 5%. So 5% of some of their money they can use to give off to you as part of the ETF. Then they're getting some of the option money because people may realize or don't realize that when you buy options, you pay a fee. So this is all part of their plan. And so there's more to it than that. They have other, like an ARK fund, I believe if it's ORAK, I think they have ARK. So they invest in other places that could give you a return of 10, 15, 20%, but altogether, they're willing to give out dividends of this magnitude. Now, did anybody notice 3.352? Did anybody notice this? So the question is, what happens at 5, right? 289. See the difference? If you wait a little longer, it starts ballooning outrageously. 10 years is not a long time. Everybody that's 60 years old, 70 years old, is 10 years too long? No, you're going to live till maybe 80, 85, 90. So is that too much to put in if you have it? No. Is it a risk? Yes. Everything's a risk when you put money in the stock market or rely on companies. So you let me know what you think. That's what he's talking about, ladies and gentlemen. This is outrageous. 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 And I love it. I'm here for all of it, ladies and gentlemen. Raydel Cabezas is in the house. Another investor is here. Very happy to see you, Raydel Cabezas with the icon. Welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. And he brings his tagline this evening. He says, good evening, SSN Nation. Watching and learning as always. Thank you so much, Raydel Cabezas. I appreciate your support with the icon, and I appreciate you being here this evening. Thank you so much. All right. Vanessa Comagate at Victor. Wow, that's a great return. Gotta up my investment. Vanessa Comagate, definitely. But hey, the funny part is, even if you put in $600, so I'm going to go back to this because people do not understand this. Some people would be saying, hey, I have $1,000. Let's go. That's 10,000. And then let's just say I can only put in $50 per month. We do 10 years. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. 293,000 at the end of 10 years. So now you're understanding why you need more money. If you can add more, we go to 100. Let's see what the break off is till it starts popping. 453. Okay. This is 200 in 5 years, 200 a month you throw in. And now you're probably going to be close to $1 million. 773. Okay. So it looks like it's the 300 mark. So here's the question. 10 years. You know, there's some people out here right now that have 8-year car notes, 10-year car notes, and they're paying like $1,000 per month, $800 per month. So you have to ask yourself, what if you would have put this money into this instead? There you go, ladies and gentlemen. You could have bought yourself a few of those cars. Crazy when you think about it. $800 payment. You know, the average payment right now is $732 for most people. $735. It's up to $735 now as the average car note payment. Is that crazy? And here people are getting 8-year loans, 7-year loans, 8-year loans, 10-year loans. Look at this, nearly $1 million. Instead, they're buying a freaking $200,000 car that just decreased in value. And some people are buying $100,000 cars and still have that kind of payment, especially in today's environment where the interest rates are higher. Crazy. This is your options right here. $1,000 down, $800 per month. See if this works out for 10 years, or go buy a liability that goes down in value and take some of that insurance money that you also have to pay and throw that in here. So your insurance is like $275 a month plus. So we're at $1,000 per month in reality after people pay insurance, license, registration, all that stuff. Look at this, 1.2 million at the end of 8 years. See, ladies and gentlemen, it's how you spend your money. You may have the money, but a lot of people are wasting this money into liabilities. We don't want you doing that here. That's why we're the no guru zone. This is why we don't have courses, ladies and gentlemen, because you should be using that money, that $5,000 that other people charge you, that $2,500. You should be using that to do this right now. Opportunities knocking. Like the Seamless Genius says, up in the investment is a good thing. Thanks, boss. Still working on it. And other things we'll share soon. Thank you so much, Vanessa Comagate. I'm anxiously awaiting for that. Anxiously waiting to hear. Auntie Val, feel better, sis? Yes, hopefully she will feel better. That's right. She'll be back. Drink plenty of fluids. Call us on Wednesday. And all right, Victor Morrell says that Paul Castillo. The catch is if Tesla stock goes to zero, then you won't get the payouts. But honestly, if Tesla goes to zero, we have bigger problems in this country. Yeah, I don't see how Tesla goes to zero, though. I don't care if they short Tesla all day long. You guys do understand Tesla gets subsidies. Okay, I mean, they have government contracts as well. Look at this. Look, ladies and gentlemen, like Victor Morrell said, that it could be the worst case scenario, but look at this. Let's see, 2022. Let's see what they got. Let's see if we know. Okay, so they didn't do a number, but they get a $7,500 tax credit. They sold 400 and some odd thousand. So people don't look at it like I look at that as a subsidy. I think it was 430,000 times 7,500. That's tax cut. That's $3 billion. All right, because they get to use that. All right, so just keep that in mind if that's the case. Are there subsidies? Here we go. That's what they're calling subsidies. That's fine. Now, who pays those subsidies? Contracts. Yeah, they do. GSA Professional Services Schedule, PSS. They're not saying. SpaceX just got two new government contracts, but that's not part of Tesla. But they're not going to say what it is. So again, your hard-earned money, these guys are getting billions of dollars, and you wonder why they're rich. I'm just saying. Plus, they have stocks as well, ladies and gentlemen. But anyhow, that is one of the things. Will they go to zero? Highly unlikely. Not going to happen. Never going to happen. Never. Charles is in the house. Another real estate investor is here. Business person is in the house. Welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. He has the icon next to his name, which means he's a member of the channel. I appreciate that greatly. And he says, hello, hey, all. I smell money in this house. And he's correct. Because, ladies and gentlemen, in case you don't know it or not, you're in the right house. This is Money Making Monday for a reason. We just don't talk about stocks. We just don't talk about credit, because credit actually could stop you from going where you need to go. There's a lot of people right now that's sitting there paying hundreds of dollars per month on credit cards. Yes, I know 60%, 64% of the population lives paycheck to paycheck, so it's a natural situation that's going to occur. But imagine if you didn't have to pay your debt to your credit card, and you could send like $600 or $700 somewhere and buy some real estate, just like buying a studio unit at Cruise on Land, for instance. $65,000. You can put $6,500 down. That may be the first hard part for you, and then pay like $700 a month. Seriously, think about it. And now you have property in one of the best projects in the Dominican Republic. No credit check, no qualifying, of course, no barriers to entry. And then once you get delivery later, because you have 2 years, 2.5 years to pay. And then after you get delivery, you can rent it out and make money for the rest of your life. I'm just saying, not that hard. The hard part is paying it. That's the hard part, making sure you have a job, making sure you have income coming in. But we gave you two ways. You can also put your money into one of the Yield Max ETFs. If you did have like $10,000 sitting around or $15,000 sitting around, you could sit there and say, oh my goodness, hold on a second, 2%, $200, $300. You could figure out a way to potentially use the dividend money to pay for your property and still keep your principal. Think about it, ladies and gentlemen. Start doing the numbers. Victor, how deep are you in these? He's probably in these pretty deep. He's in retirement mode. He's done did the damn thing. All right, James Way, welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream with the icon next to his name, which I greatly appreciate. And he says his tagline, good evening, all. Good evening to you. Got the notification. That's only 4 people tonight, but thank you so much for letting me know. He says new month of the rent being too damn high. He ain't lying. Gonna drop some money into this investment ASAP. Yes, James Way, very, very wise. You have several choices at Yield Max ETFs. Wonder why everybody isn't dropping dime on this information, because again, ordinary citizens who don't have that much money, if you can just do $50 per month, if they're able to keep up this revenue numbers, and even if it dropped to 40% or 30%, you still are going to win in a short period of time. You don't have to wait 20 years. If they are in business for 5 years or more, you have opportunity. All right. That's all I can tell you. That's the best way to go. All right, here we go. Victor Marrero, he says he's expanding his option trading portfolio from SPY and QQQ. I will start doing calls and puts on Tesla next week. There are thousands of option contracts daily. The premium payouts are nice. Exactly. He's learned his craft. He's studied. How long did you study, Victor Marrero? Like 6 months, 7 months before he got into this? Hey, you got to give him credit. A lot of people are jumping in on these course people and then talking about give them $1,500, $2,000, $3,000. Then we're going to give you some sort of I don't even understand this whole thing. Give them money, then they're going to give you accounts, then they're going to give you some sort of limit or credit line or something. I'm just like, explain the first part to me. These guys are allegedly making thousands of dollars every day, but they want you to give them a couple thousand to join them and then get in their signals groups and pay some more fees and all this stuff. I'm like, what are we talking about here? I'm like, I thought you were making thousands per day, tens of thousands. But oh well, that's just me. All right. Nonetheless, Victor Morrell studied. Victor Morrell did whatever he had to do. Now he's feeling very, very comfy. And now he's expanding his option trading portfolio. Congratulations on that. But Victor Morrell, is this going to interfere with your retirement? Because you have been working hard for the last 30, 40 years, I'm assuming, right? All right, I'm just playing with you. All right, Victor Morrell at George's Charles. I'm loving the premium payouts. Doing the option wheel strategy on SPY and QQQ. Both of these ETFs cover the top 400 USA companies. The next stock, Tesla, next week. He's honing his skills, ladies and gentlemen. That's what you do. You have to learn more. You just can't, no matter what happens with financial education, you always have to learn more. Nothing's the same. All right. That's why you have to learn new skills. I like putting the higher amount in, like 25K monthly payouts are cool. Exactly. That's exactly right. Victor Morrell, like you said, Eric, TSLY isn't just covered calls on Tesla. Part of the portfolios in U.S. Treasuries. That's why they have been able to maintain such a high yield on a constant basis. Exactly. That's exactly one of their little gems that they have there. And remember, they have like, what was it, $80 million, 77. I don't know how much is in treasuries, but yeah, hell, it could be all of it, as far as I know. Curtis Davis, yes, dividend money, exactly. Michael Caesar's in the house. Welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream with the icon next to his name. Another investor is here. He says, good night, all. Well, good night to you. Very happy to see you once again. And speaking of investors in the house, how can I forget this? I should have started this off early. SSN Lifestyle Real Estate Investors and Business Forum. You guys know, November 6th through the 8th, you got to be there or be square. You have an opportunity, $199 per person to get your bracelet. What are we going to be doing there? Well, depends on how many people show up. Let's go. Speakers are going to be in the house. You're going to have realtors. You're going to have lawyers. You're going to have builders. You're going to have furniture makers, excursion business owners. You're going to be able to set yourself up with business or pleasure. They'll be there. You can talk to them, make your own deal. This isn't like the X conference where people come up to the stage and the next thing you know, they said, oh yeah, go out to the booth over there and go buy their stuff. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, we don't do that crap. Why does a billionaire need to do that? Oh, I don't know. Maybe because that's how they make their damn money. They really ain't really doing the other stuff. Just saying, I have to talk a little bit of mess. All I'm saying is November 6th through the 8th, be there, be square. Real estate investors in business forum. And maybe you might want to show up a day or two early just so you can get the lay of the land. But we're going to go and driving out to some of the properties. Going to go find out how far Macau is. You'll get a lay of the land. We'll be going over to VistaCon. We're going to the top 4. We'll go check out where Atlantida is. We'll go roam around on the cliff. We'll go out to cruise on land and go check out their model. We'll go all over the place while we're there, and we'll be having a little bit of fun as well. So go over to ssnlifestyle.com. In fact, I'll put a link in. And it's all pre-construction real estate and business, ladies and gentlemen. That's what we're going to be doing, putting you in position to win, or shall I say, putting yourself in position to win, because you have to be there. That allows you to talk to individuals who are actually doing a thing. Me personally, I'm going to be looking for the transportation guys as well, because I'm not just going to rely on the project to just do the transportation on the shuttle. I want to be able to sit there and say, you know what? I may want to do an excursion. Let's call it what it is. You got to start thinking outside of the box. Sometimes you start going, well, wait a minute. What if I want to take people from these locations to somewhere as in the transportation business. Yes, we have to be licensed. I understand that. But you don't have to all do buggy rides, right? We don't all have to do buggy rides. You don't always have to do, what else do they have? The zip line. You don't have to do none of that. Everybody seems to go out the country and they do zip lining. All right. You don't have to do that. Maybe you're going to come up with something else. How about the wine tasting and spa situation? Since we're going to go upscale, since we're going to go luxury, why not go in a different direction? You have opportunities galore, especially in the Dominican Republic, because they are having an explosion of tourists. 7.6 million. If you didn't get the memo from the Dominican Republic Weekly, 7.6 million. I'll be dropping a video tomorrow for the first 9 months. I know some people were crazy when I said we're going to have 8 million this year, 7.5 to 8 million. You said no. I say yes. What did I say? 8.5 to 9 million next year. We'll see who says no now. Then I say 2025, 9.5 to 10. Why? In case you guys still don't know, because you didn't watch the Dominican Republic Weekly. Well, what happens when you start having another airline start going to the islands, start going to Puerto Rico, start going to Cuba, Havana? They start going to St. Martin. They start going to Aruba. And now people who are traveling from outside of the Caribbean, they go land in Puerto Rico. They go land in Aruba. They go land in St. Martin. And they say, you know what? While we're here, Dominican Republic seems like it's pretty cool. We can hop over there. Let's go. That's what's going to happen, ladies and gentlemen. They're estimating another 200,000 people just coming from the island situation. Can you start seeing the stacks? What's going to happen when Ukraine and Russia get that situation handled? Because we're already missing like 400,000 people from there. What's going to happen when that train starts moving in a few years from Santo Domingo up to Punta Cana or vice versa? When people realize when they get to the island, they're not stuck. They don't have to get a rent-a-car. What are they going to do? They're going to jump on that train. Just like I'm in Europe. I'm getting on the train. I don't need a car. The metro takes me to the train station. I can go anywhere. About damn time. I like what they're doing, just like Cancun did when they did their train. United States is like the most developed country that does nothing. What do we have? Nothing. Amtrak is a joke. No bullet trains. Nothing. In Florida, they said, you know what? I guess we might as well just do something over here. No other state's going to do anything. So why don't we at least have a train from Orlando to Miami? You know how major that is? Two of the biggest centers now, people who come and land at Disney can now go down to South Beach just by jumping on a train like we're in Europe. Come on, ladies and gentlemen, you guys don't know the significance of this. So when you have areas that are doing that as an investor, you are doing this. Raise the roof. But are you going to immerse yourself into the business as well? Because you can have real estate in DR. But wouldn't it be another wise decision to get a business? Because if it's going to be based on tourists, you are going to have almost double the amount of tourists when 2025 comes. That's how crazy this is. By air, I'm referring to. By air. We're not going to have 20 million tourists. What I'm saying is we're going to have damn near 9, 8 million, 7 million, somewhere in there, 7 to 8 million by air tourists at that particular point, which will be double this time now. So think about that. Double. And keep this in mind. 60% land at Punta Cana Airport. Double. Okay. You waking up yet? All right. So make sure you come out to that. Please sign up. If we only have one person, that's fine. If we have 3, that's fine. If we have 10, that's fine. No matter how it goes down, we're still going to see people. It all depends on how many people we have. But hey, if we have 3 people, then we'll go to Johan's office. We'll go to Gennaro's office. We'll just go to everybody's office then. We won't have a meeting room. We got 10 people or more. Okay, maybe we'll have a little meeting room then. But that'll also let me know if we need a van, we need a shuttle, how much do we need so everybody can just get in. We going up to different locations. We're only going to kidnap you for an hour or two. You can always leave. But the point is, see if you can find your way to SSN Lifestyle. I put it in the chat room. I'll put it there again. Punta Cana Real Estate Investor and Business Forum, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go. All right. Let's see what else we got here. Okay. Like you said, yes, dividend money. Good night. Victor Marrero says, agree, especially if you reinvest the over 1K per month back into it. Soon it will turn into an interest over interest money compound machine. Exactly. I just don't know how long this can happen. I mean, it's so exponential that it's so ridiculous. But like Victor Morel says, there's so much option money at play because you have all these people who are new, who are old investors, new investors, and you have millions of transactions every day that's earning $3 here, $2 there, 50 cents here. I mean, so in theory, if you are into that receiving of the transaction fee or a part of it, you got millions of dollars coming in out of thin air. This is the whole point why crypto and exchanges should have been so easy. What are you doing? All you had to do was do exchange, and every time there's a transaction, you make money, profit, free and clear. Why do you have to get into staking? Why do you have to get into this other BS? It was unnecessary. Crazy. All right, Curtis Davis, haha, the guru need 5,000 to 10,000 to start you. Exactly. It's funny how people are willing to do this when they could have used that money and put it into something that gives them a return within less. Like, look, right now, if you bought into TSLY or OARK or NVDY or APLY before the 6th of this month, you'll have your first dividend check in 2 weeks. Whether it's 36 cents or 50 cents or 80 cents or $1, you're still going to have it per share. So if you put $1,000 in, you have $15 a share. Let's call that 75 shares. Roughly, I think that's what the number is. Well, a little less, but 70 shares, let's call it. And 70 times $1 could be $70. 70 times 50 cents could be $35. But now you got 1,035. And now instead of getting 70 shares, now it could be 2 or 3 more. Now it's 73. And now the next month, maybe they give out 80 cents because it fluctuates. Maybe it's 80 cents a month this time. Now all of a sudden I'm getting $60 for that month. And now I'm able to buy another 5 or 6 shares. Now you have 80 shares in 2 months. This is $1,000, ladies and gentlemen. And at 80 shares, maybe that's the month that they do the dollar. Now it's $80 and you reinvest. So all of a sudden now you're going to be approaching like 90 shares. I mean, it starts escalating in a matter of 4, 5, 6 months. And now things get real nice for you. All right, lots of love. That will be like another hobby for me at retirement. Picture this. I'll be checking the charts while drinking a cold one on the beach, thinking about the hardworking people I left behind. That's cold. That's cold, man. That's cold. That's cold, Victor Morel. Hey, Victor Morel, you know what's funny that you mentioned that? That's what I used to think when I actually had a job and I was working. Because here's the thing. I told you guys my story. I'll tell people who are new here my story. Yes, I used to work, ladies and gentlemen. All right. So when I was at my job, I was lucky enough to work under union situations. So we had like a week of sick time. We had like a week or 2 weeks of vacation time. So here I come, the young hot shot. I'm a mathematic type of guy. So I realized they would allow you to take vacation on Friday. So then I was like, wait, I have 14 days. So I could take vacation every 2 days. That's half a year that I have a 3-day weekend, plus the normal 3-day weekends. So then I was like, well, wait a minute. I show up to work damn near all the time. I'm never going to call in sick. So now I realize, wait a minute, just add on another 5. I would always leave 2 or 3 just in case. But sick days, we get paid. So now I have 33 3-day weekends plus our normal 3-day weekends, which adds about another, 3 or 4. So it ends up being like 35, let's just call it, 3-day weekends out of the year. So What does that mean? Well, what that means is when I get off on Thursday, I'm at the airport. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I come back Sunday. Now, living in Cali, come on, ladies and gentlemen, you guys don't understand what Cali's all about if you're a go-getter and can go around. So imagine LA, I'm in SAC. I'm there, hour and 45 minutes. But get this, they had the audacity to have a Orange County airport. They had the audacity to open up LAX to more flights. They had the audacity to run an Ontario airport. I was just like, is this a joke? I was like, oh my God. So now flights used to be $125 round trip to LA, last minute on Southwest. All right. That's how cool this is. So now on Thursday, I can be in SoCal, soaking up the sun, hanging out at the beaches Thursday, Friday, Saturday, come back Sunday. Now, what else? We're not just going to go to LA. How about Vegas is also an hour and a half flight from SAC? So now, another weekend, I'm in Vegas. This is lovely. Another weekend, I'm in San Diego. Paradise Island. Oh, yeah, go check out Paradise Island, ladies and gentlemen. You will have a blast. Again, go to Humps by SeaWorld. So on the way to Mission Beach. So all and San Diego's like an hour, 45, I think, by air. So you have to understand. Another flight, I'm in Scottsdale, Arizona, 2 hours. I'm like, this is lovely. Hot spots. Or I live in Northern California, so why not go up to Lake Tahoe for the weekend in the summertime? Thursday night, Friday, Saturday, come back Sunday. Beautiful. I think that's a nice job. It's a beautiful job if you can get them, right? So here's what starts happening. I tell people that I did this stuff, and they would be like, no way, you're lying. I would be at casinos in Vegas, and I was actually what you would call the VIP. My coworkers didn't even know. So I'm going to see shows. I'm telling them when I get back, what'd you do? I said, well, I went down to Vegas. I saw some, headliner, whoever it was. They're like, okay, yeah, right. Because you just said you went there like last month too. I'm like, yeah, I know. I can go anytime if I want. I can do what I want. And so then I started I told this story before. This is so funny. My coworkers that Victor Morrell says I'm going to feel so bad for them. So at the time, back in the day, when you went to the shows, they would give you postcards. So since all my coworkers kept being like, you're lying, you're not going to these places. No, remember, this is non-social media stuff. I decided I'm sending my coworkers postcards from the show I went to, and I'm having the superstars sign it and say, wish you were here. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I was ruthless. So the superstars, they're signing the stuff, and I'd say, yeah, wish you were here to this coworker. Wish you were here. I'd have like 20 cards sent out, and they used to drop them in the mailbox for me. So when I get back, that's right, hear this, I drop it on a Thursday night show or a Friday show in the mailbox. It's sent out Saturday, and on Monday, when the USPS used to be cool, we're on the West Coast, Monday, my coworkers are getting postcards at work. It's hilarious. At work, they're giving people postcards, and they're just like, I'll be damned. This is actually the signature. This guy's actually here. Because, of course, the postcard shows the artist. It shows the location, shows the casino, because they got to promote, and they're getting these. So, yes, Victor Morrell, when you say things like this, I love it. Because that's what I used to do, thinking about my hardworking coworkers. And then they changed the rules on me. The management came up with the new rule. They said, okay, you can't go on a 3-day weekend or whatever they came up with. They just basically said you have to work the day before and the day after. So that meant I can't take off Thursday. I can only take off like Wednesdays. But then I have to be back to work like on Friday or some nonsense. They changed the rules against union contract. It was hilarious. I was just like, don't worry, I have something else for you. So every time we had those 4 or 5 3-day weekends. So now what did I do? I started putting my vacations on a Tuesday. And then they changed the rules on that one too. But I was having a blast. They got mad at me for sending my coworkers these postcards. It was hilarious. I used to have fun only because I never feared being fired. Yes, I love it. It's better than just sitting in a savings account. Thanks, SSN fam. Exactly. Seamless genius. That's how we look at it. That's what we have to do here, ladies and gentlemen. Victor Marrero, poor, unfortunate souls. That's hilarious. Man, I am rolling in me too, man. That's funny stuff. That's funny stuff right there. Oh, man, that's funny right there at Victor. I got burned really bad with crypto. Okay, Paul Castillo. Yes, we all got burned pretty bad with crypto. That's why we're not talking crypto anymore. I made that announcement 6-7 months ago. Yes, everything with crypto is just a mirage. All right, so far it's a mirage. So we're not doing crypto. And I agree with you. Now I'm just a little bit scared to invest in the stock market. See, crypto is not regulated. It's not regulated. That's the difference. Stock market is, but not to say that, investment in the stock market doesn't mean that they can't fail. But the point of the matter is, at least you have some sort of recourse usually. With crypto, you have damn near zero recourse. So once again, don't blame the stock market for crypto. Stock market is still here. Simple as that. All right. So you do your research, but only put in a little bit and then go from there. Nobody says you have to put in a bag. There we go. I forgot about Long Beach. That's right. Long Beach Airport. A shout out in October. It's the Jazz Trax Jazz Festival. Jazz Trax Smooth Jazz Festival. 3 weekends in October. Man, I wish I could find the pictures of that, ladies and gentlemen. I have pictures. I was there. Years I was there. Art Good, if you ever saw this, I doubt it, but shout out to you, man. You always put this on for the last, 30, 20 years. Great job. Man, great artist from around the world. Paul Castillo at Victor, I got burned, yes. And yes, Vanessa Comagate mentioned Long Beach. That's the one I was thinking of. Yes, I like the Long Beach airport. Exactly. I was thinking, I couldn't remember the other airport. I knew there was LAX, Orange County, Ontario, Long Beach, LBC. That's it, exactly. So Long Beach has the cruise ports. I don't know if they still do. They used to. And that's where I took over, actually, to Catalina Island. Oh, Catalina Island. That's where the Jazz Trax Festival is. If you can go check those out, go check them out. It's cool. It's laid back. And I won't give any other talk about that. Just go check it out. All right, boss, you were like Mr. Rourke. Welcome to Fantasy Island. Exactly. That's exactly right. Like I said, I've been pretty much very, very fortunate in my life, but I couldn't. I was like poor, fortunate souls. My coworkers, they were working hard. Meanwhile, I had offices, I had businesses churning. I was just working there because I was younger, and I was sitting there like, man, if something ever happened to my business, I don't even have a resume. So that's the only reason I was at a job. I was just like, I guess, I better have a job just in case something doesn't happen. But I was always doing my own thing. So it was like, if I get fired, that's why I had so much fun at my job. I was always like, if I get fired, okay, I get to go do my thing. Good evening, SSN Nation, from Mr. De La Cruz. Welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. Another investor is in the house. He's here. I was finally able to catch up with all of your videos. Great job. Thank you so much, Mr. De La Cruz. I greatly appreciate that. The investor, a real estate investor, is here as well, Mr. De La Cruz. He's doing the damn thing. The LBC and the one on Catalina Island is very nice. Exactly. Very nice. And again, it's smooth jazz for the most part, but they have like R&B artists sometimes. I haven't even looked at the schedule this year. But once again, those are other areas that when people talk about having fun, it's like, I want to say Medano Beach, but that's not what it's called. Can you imagine they have this Thursday night unplugged? So artists that do acoustics on the beach at Catalina Island, it starts usually around 7, 8 at night, and it starts getting dim. You have the fires going, you have drinks being served up, and the artists, and I'm talking about world famous artists. I'm not talking about just a local artist. I'm talking about guys that have Grammys and stuff like that are there singing under the stars on a Thursday night. That's why you got to be there Wednesday night. I'm just saying. All right. So that's part of the enjoyment. And then take over the high speed boat. Don't take the slow boat. Take the high speed boat. Yes, they have, if you're into drinks and eats and have fun, they on the high speed, they have drinks and a little snack, or bring a snack. I can't remember. I just remember they had drinks. That was my criteria. Because the helicopter dude says, yeah, well, we'll be there in like I can't remember, 20 minutes, 25 minutes. I was like, all right. And then when the guys on the high-speed boat said, yeah, we'll be there in like 35 minutes, but we have drinks and eats on here. I'm like, all right, man, I'm going on the boat. I'm like, I'm going on the boat. I'm in no rush to get there. It was like 11, 12 in the day. I'm like, the show don't even start till 5 or 6. And so I was just like, I'm just going to chill out on the boat. We hanging on the boat. And I had to check in probably at 3 or 4 anyhow. So I was like, I don't need to get over there right now. I'm going to chill on this little hydroplane boat. But anyhow, that's a whole nother story. One of these days, maybe I can add that to the SSN lifestyle when I find the pictures. I don't know where they are. Vanessa Comagate. At the end of the day, when you can live like that, you really inspire people to do more. Exactly, Vanessa Comagate. That's how you do it. That's how we do it. Yeah, like I said, some of this stuff you guys see. So what I'm going to do is, please smash the like button. And if you like what we're talking about, please subscribe to the channel and click the all notification bell, ladies and gentlemen. All right. In fact, I should have grabbed my Catalina hat when I was in Cali. I should have did that because that would have went well with my story. All right, here we go. Have anyone here been to the Sphere in Vegas? No, it just opened up. U2 just played. I was there last year when they were building it, but I had no idea how cool it's looking at YouTube videos. Yeah, it's cool. It's very cool. And I first of all, Koval Lane, which is a street over from the main Las Vegas Boulevard, down in the, what do we call it, north? Yeah, north end, it wasn't built up that much. That's why they could put the Sphere down there. It used to be like the worst part of, well, the Strip area, quite frankly, the older part. When you go from downtown up until you get up to like Treasure Island at one time, and then after you get up to, what was that, Sahara, SLS or whatever it was called. But anyhow, then after you get a little past that, that was garbage. That's why now you have all those new casinos there, right? A nice Fountain Blues there, which is awesome. But the Sphere is down there. Well, ladies and gentlemen, because I have places at the Desert Club Resort this October at Desert Club Resort, everybody wants to stay there because the Sphere is up the street. And yes, I get to charge $599 per night for a 2-bedroom unit. That's right. You heard me. On the weekends, on Airbnb. $399 per night, or no, sorry, on the weekend, $419 per night for the 1-bedroom, because people are going to that Sphere on the weekend. I love it. Sphere, thank you so much. You increased some revenues finally, because we had 3% still, but hey, 2 nights here is better than zeros. All right. That's it. Here we are. There you go. Catalina Jazz Track starts October 12th to the 22nd. There we go. There you go. 3 weekends. 12. Used to be 3 weekends. 12. Yeah, it used to be 3 weekends. I guess now is that 2 weekends? Nonetheless, here, since we're talking about it, let's just go check it out. Catalina Jazz Tracks 2023. Okay, it's going to be held in the ballroom. Oh, now that we're talking about this, make sure you smash the like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Click the all notification bell. Here's something. I'll give you guys a little story. You know, well, I wasn't born then, but in the 50s, they used to have this black and white dance. They used to have dance show. Well, little did people know that dance show was in freaking Catalina Island. in the ballroom. That's right. And then it's all forgotten all these years. It just sits out there. They even have cruise ships that go there now. But the funny part is that's where they used to have TV shows, dance TV shows in the ballroom. And I don't know how far off the coast Catalina really is, but let's just say, what, 20, maybe 20 miles or something? Maybe if that. All right, check it out. Here we go. Just for all you jazz lovers. Oh, yeah, it's not cheap. Forgot. Okay, let's see what we got here. Click here, purchase Jazz Track Festival tickets online. I didn't really want to go here. I was actually, okay, here we go. October 12th, Unplugged. There we go. Descanso Beach. Let's see who's going to be playing. Let's see. Oh, we got some persons. I don't know. This time it's Ray Fuller, guitar. Mindy Abair at 7:30 p.m. Oh, they've expanded it. Okay, back in the day, they would have one artist, but now they have two. Ray Fuller starts it off at 6 p.m. and then Mindy Abair, in case you don't know who she is awesome on the sax. 55. Oh, it didn't cost before back in the day. $55 now, reasonable. And then October 19th, the following Thursday, Craig Chiquiso and Rod Tardik. Yes, Craig Chiquiso, Mindy Abair have, I bet you they both have Grammys, but they have #1 songs, both of them. And let's see, 36th, October 13th, the ballroom, 265 to 395. So I have to give people, let me give people some info in case you want to go here. 2 full shows, 7 p.m. Wait, who's playing? What's happening? Here we go. Artist lineup. Let's see who's there this year. So let me give you guys some little pointers. The Catalina Ballroom. Everybody wants to stay. Okay, so we have Boney James. Some people may have heard of him. He's going to be there October 15th at the Ballroom, 9 p.m. They usually play about an hour, hour and a half. Chris Walker, I'm not familiar with him at all. Bobby Lyle, Regina Bell, Eric Marienthal. I know who all these people are. Excellent. Gerald Albright, Sergio Mendez, Jesse Cook can play as well. Bob James, the guy that did the Taxi song, the series Taxi. Yeah. All right. He's there. Mindy Abair's in the house. Keiko Matsui's in the house. All right. They got a good lineup this year. Acoustic Alchemy's here. Eric Darius is here. Oh, my. He plays with my man. Oh, and Slim Man. Oh my God. Ladies and gentlemen, Slim Man's Bonafide and tribute to Bobby Caldwell. And here's Craig Chiquiso doing the Descanso Beach. Slim Man, Bonafide. Oh, man. Slim Man and those guys are cool. Okay, here's the cool part about this. Just so I got to show him some love. I have to. Art Good, I always show some love. He's cool, too. Just so you guys know, I got to say something about this. Slim Man at Bonafide. Slim Man plays like this old box-like guitar. It's probably only 4 strings. And Bonafide, when they play together, they create magic. Sometimes Bonafide plays by themselves, but if he's there, I would want to see those guys. So that's a hell of a lineup this year. And very, very nice. Yes, Boney James, exactly. Gerald Albright, Regina Bell, yes, exactly. Sergio Mendez, exactly. Superstars in the house. I got to go. Exactly. Okay. So here's the thing I was going to say, ladies and gentlemen. Look, I was just going to say something because everybody gets these, they get these tickets. Let's go do something real quick. All right. It's the ordinary citizens. We don't have extra money that we really want to spend. Right. So I'm going to give you guys some heads up. So let me show you where's the tickets at. Let's go do this. Let's go do tickets. So I want to go see. Well, I want the second weekend, quite frankly. I think the second weekend is what I want. Let's go see. Wasn't that the one with Regina Bell and Bonafide and all these guys? This is weird. 5 weekend session, 10 acts. Yeah, I think that was them. The second weekend's probably Keiko Matsui, Acoustic Alchemy, Gerald. Yeah. Yeah. Bobby Lau, Regina Bell. Yeah, I think that. Yeah, Eric Marienthal. Yes. Oh, DeCero's in the house. Nathan Michael. Okay. So anyhow, notice 265. Here it is. Okay, look at this right here. Look at this. 395. All right. Okay, here's the dirty little secrets I'm about to give you. What you're going to do is you're just going to go, don't pay 305. Don't pay none of that. Just get your seat right back. Well, these seats are gone. Just get your seat right back here. All right. Well, here's the deal. So what starts happening is as they have the first, second, third, because they have these in the middle of the day, right? Some of the shows are in the middle of the day. Not all, they can't have everybody at night. So what happens is people are running around like going to Wrigley Ranch. They're running around drinking and eating in the bars. Half of the people that are in the lower section of the ballroom, they don't show up. So all of these seats are damn near empty all the way up to almost half. So generally, everybody just moves up because after the first, second person comes on, there's nobody here. And these people out here, yeah, they don't come. So I always get tickets down here. The least expensive, it won't matter because you'll be sitting up here. Just letting you know. All right, that's the dirty little secret. So you don't have to go up here spending $400. You'll be either right over here or right over here, and the stage is probably less than 100 feet away. All right, that's the dirty little secret, just so you guys know. All right, that's the first thing. Second thing, when you go stay there, they have these little bed and breakfasts. And so don't book with the hotels, book with the little bed and breakfast places. They used to be like, I always go by Ordinary Citizen. Hotel charges me $395. The bed and breakfast was like, Eric, it's only $140. And we give you breakfast. I was like, okay, what's the catch? Oh, your room's only like 12 by 15. Okay, what's the problem? Nice. And it's not on the where the hotels are, it's not noisy. It's down one of the side streets. So I was like, perfect. Nice and quiet, no noise, beautiful. And they have several of them, not just one, several. So anyhow, those are the early secrets when I go to Catalina Island. So that's why people can rarely find me, but that's where I hang out at. All right, there you go, ladies and gentlemen, showing some love for Art Good and the Catalina Island Jazz Track Festival. Brian P., welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream with the icon. Another investor's in the house, and he says, hello, Eric. I hope all is well with you. Hello, SSN family. Thank you so much. All is well with me. Hopefully all is going well with you and the fam. I received a notification and trailer. Thank you so much for that as well. We're up to 6 people tonight that has let me know. And again, so with that said, I need to throw down a breakdown. Since we were talking about jazz, then I might as well play this video right here. All right, you guys know what's coming. Speaking of this jazz, Eric Darius is playing. The man that's on the horns, and this is the Napa Valley Jazz Festival, is Eric Darius. He goes off. Check him out. So, you know, Brian Kobleson, he plays the keyboards. Eric Darius plays horns. Check it out. All right, ladies and gentlemen, there you go. Speaking of jazz, Eric Darius on the horns going off. So he's always at the Napa Jazz with Culbertson. He plays with him there for sure because he goes off. All right, let's get back into it. SSN Nation Money Making Monday. If you just joined us, please make sure you smash that like button. What's the point of making money and getting that passive income if you can't have a little bit of fun? Why let days, years, and months go by before? Why wait on having fun, ladies and gentlemen? Well, we have to make plans. It's the fourth quarter, investors. Your time to make more money is now. When the stock market is volatile, it's going up, down, up, down. You can buy dividends. You can start thinking ahead. If you want a simple 4 or 5% return, you can buy some treasuries. It's that simple. But are you going to stay ahead of inflation? Unlikely. But nonetheless, if you don't want to do risk, so be it. But personally, dividend investing is the best place to be right now. You don't have to go high risk, which anytime the rate is 30%, 50%, I think high risk. I think 10%, like a JP Morgan, 10 or 11%, I think that's reasonable. And I think some other 14, 15% dividend stocks are reasonable. When things start getting to be 20%, like an ORC or an ARR, damn near 24%, that's significant. I'm just like, how long can they pay that out? That's crazy. But all I do know is this. Here's the question. Do you want to take the risk and say, hey, like ORC is paying out 24%? Do you want to take the risk that the Federal Reserve increases interest rates, would put pressure on real estate investment trusts if they borrowed, which is part of your homework, or NLY? Sorry, not NLY, ARR, which is 23.97%. The problem is if they do not increase interest rates, if they do decrease interest rates in the next 4 months, then you're golden. Because if they reduce interest rates, that takes pressure off of them. And that means your return and that dividend will not be changed. So your money could be earning 20-some% for a long time, at least for the next 3-4 years. Because once they start reducing interest rates, things start skyrocketing. Stocks start going up. Real estate starts going up. People start spending, putting more money into bank accounts, putting more money into companies on the stock market. So this is one of those things that happen. So keep that in mind. Fourth quarter is now. You guys know what's going to happen. 60% of the population, 64, paycheck to paycheck. 73% of millennials, paycheck to paycheck. That means there's limited amount of money that can be put in banks, limited amount of money that can be bought for the treasuries, which actually helps the government, right? People don't realize when you're buying treasuries, that allows the government to print more money. All right. So just think about all of this. And then when they print money, that causes inflation, which means the cost of goods and services are going to rise, which means if you're in business, you get to increase your rates. So that's why starting your own business, time to get in. Oh, by the way, speaking of crypto earlier, down below in the description, I have a link for Unstoppable Domain. The reason I have a link for Unstoppable Domain is simply this: ericbird.crypto. If crypto ever does become a thing, you pay one time for ericbird.crypto. Yes, that's a real thing. I have it under my name, .crypto. And so therefore, if crypto ends up being something where I don't have to send people alphanumeric characters, if you want to send me crypto, all you have to do is send it to ericbird.crypto. That's it. And now there's secondary protection because nobody knows what the actual alphanumeric characters are, so they can't track you. Just saying. And what I mean by privacy, because crypto was not designed for privacy, even though some people are trying to act like it is. Once somebody has your alphanumeric characters for your wallet, then they can actually see every transaction you do. It was never designed for that. It was just designed for you to have your own currency, so to speak. That's what it was designed for. It wasn't designed to stop somebody from seeing what you're doing. So Just keep that in mind. It was designed so you don't have to give your money to the bank, and then you can spend your money how you want to without being hemmed up. And if you said, "Hey, I want to withdraw $10,500," they don't sit there and look at you going, "Here, sign this agreement that it's all legitimate." It doesn't trigger anything because you're just like, "It's my money. Why would you care? It's none of your business." So all I'm saying is, that's why I love Unstoppable Domain. They're $20, they're $5, they're $10. They have more than .crypto. They have .x, .nft, .888, .bitcoin wallet, .wallet, a bunch of things. .polygon now. So you have a choice of what you want at the end of your name, but it's a one-time fee. No cost to mint. So therefore you have it for life. And what I did was I even got my daughter's names just in case. So my daughters have it. I never gave it to them. I'm not, unless crypto becomes a thing, because I don't even want them dabbling in crypto. So all I'm saying is, if it does become a situation, they're always going to have it under their name .crypto. So that way you can always maneuver later, because you never know what's going to happen. Currency collapses happen all the time. And what I mean by this is, no currency has survived hundreds and hundreds of years. You can go back to China, 0-0. You have currency. It doesn't last because why? It deteriorates in value. It's that simple. You have to believe what it's worth. And if you stop believing that somebody gives you $100 bill and it's not worth $100, then that's the downfall of the currency right there. You lose faith. And so then that causes other issues. So just keep that in mind. Now, let's get back to the business at hand, because fourth quarter, ladies and gentlemen, and we're not talking about football. We are talking about the game of life. You're the CEO of your life. You have to start thinking about, what are you going to do over the next 20 years? Because I have news for you, ladies and gentlemen. I myself am thinking just what I've been telling you guys 5 years ago. You live in a third world country in the United States. You just don't know it yet, and they're not changing. They are making sure money goes to the top of the food chain financially, and they're making sure the rest, 90%, 80% of the rest of us are fighting over the scraps. That is not sustainable. All right? Regardless, it's only sustainable right now because we have credit. That is the only reason the whole thing is sustainable. Everybody can borrow. We have a quadrillions in debt, derivatives. When those have to be cashed in, the money ain't there. All right? So what does that do? That means they have to allow for additional new debt. That's how it keeps working. These are debt notes that you have on you. Let me see if I have any debt notes on me. These are debt notes. Let's see. Federal Reserve note, like this 20 says, right? See, these are notes. This is worth nothing. All right? So keep that in mind. Just keep that in mind. It's debt. You're paying for debt that's already existing. That's why your kids, grandkids, great-great-great-grandkids can never pay off our trillions of dollars worth of debt. And they don't care to, because $1 trillion in 1990 is worth less in 2023. So as long as they can extend out the money owed, the paper's worth less. So it's easier to get $33 trillion when it's 2075. But what happens between now and 2075? There's going to be an implosion, is what's going to happen. All right. So keep that in mind. It's the fourth quarter of the game, ladies and gentlemen. This is the investor's game. This is why we have to start talking about real estate investing. Again, you guys, you're missing out on a golden opportunity, in my opinion. We talk about Dominican Republic, but it doesn't matter. It could be Tulum, Mexico. Everywhere in the world is on sale. And yesterday I ran across something in Indonesia. I could not believe what I was seeing. These guys are like $69,000 for a 1-bedroom, 1-bath villa on Sumba. Sumba, Sumba Island. A lot of people don't know where that is, but it's in Indonesia. Let's just put it this way. It's by Australia, but it's an island. They are crazy with this. And a lot of people have heard of Bali and know about those waters. Well, this is where I differ from most people because I know how far this is. It's like a 12-hour, well, actually, it's going to take you probably to get to Sumba. It's going to take you about 15, 16 hours. It's south of Korea. If you want to really know, I mean, it's a long way. But it's by Bali and the Indonesia areas that people go to vacation and visit. 69.9. You can't even own land there because you're a foreigner. You can have an 80-year lease and then they're going to renew it for you. But if you start thinking about it, it is what it is. If somebody's going to let me rent at 70% occupancy rate and I can get like $400 a night, $300 a night, it's worth looking at, right? We'll may talk about this another day. But again, it's leased. It's not deeded. So who's going to 80 years is a long time for the lease. Kind of like how Mexico is or used to be. But nonetheless, there's opportunities all over the planet. You just have to find the one that interests you. All right. Now, did anybody see the Dominican Republic Weekly? Because once again, if you bought, there is somebody that bought it, Del Mar or at La Romana. I think we have a few people that bought down there. I know we do. They are now signing to build a new boardwalk. Abinator, doing ribbon cutting. That's right. La Romana, which is about what, an hour and a half from the Punta Cana airport. That is close enough where tourists, especially when they have a train rolling through, now that little boardwalk that they decide to put down there is going to be major. Sweet. Now, think about it. You guys, you can set yourself up by paying attention to knowledge and information. And it goes to everywhere. When we start talking about stocks, of course. We start talking about real estate, it's a lot easier. All right. I just had somebody offer me something for my lot today. He doesn't want to pay me the future price. I said, all right. Because I priced it. I was like, hey, because I get called all the time. I said, I want $1,000. They said, calls me up today and he's like, hey, man, it's not clear. It's not that. I told him, I said, man, you sound just like me. If I was trying to buy it from somebody, this is how I'd be sounding. The same way. He started laughing. He goes, what? You do investments in property? He's like, I do. I build. He's like, what do you do? And I said, well, I've done pretty much everything. There's only a few things I haven't done. And so then he starts saying, well, I think I'm going to get your lot. I think I'm going to do a GC, general contractor. And I think we're going to go in partners and then we're going to build it. And I said, yeah, but if you build, you know, you're going to have the most expensive home in the area, in the residential area. He's like, yeah, I know. That's the reason why I want to pay this amount, because I'll have the most expensive house. I said, exactly. I said, so that kind of doesn't make any sense in my book, but okay, it's your thing. But I want extra money. And he's like, I can't do it. I said, okay, well, we talked for a little bit. And then he says something like, so what do you like to do? Like I said, and I said, well, I do everything except a few things. He says, so I asked him, what do you do? He says, I do everything but wholesaling. I've been doing this for 20, 30 years. I said, exactly. I said, I don't do wholesaling. I never would. And he's like, exactly. So everybody who does those wholesaling deals, there's nothing wrong with it, but I never done it because I don't like doing them like that, because I have to figure out a lower price for the person, knowing full well taking advantage of a person, and then I'll be able to make some money on the other side when I could just do stuff anyhow, the right way, right? Either way, it's the right way, but I just don't like going that route, knowing the value of the property and the person's giving it away because they don't know it's that inexpensive. And then you get it under contract and you turn around and make an extra 20, 30 grand and fine for you. But the other person, okay, They didn't know. They didn't want to do their homework. Fine. But at the same time, I don't feel good about it. You know, I'm like, I don't do wholesales. I said, never will, never did. So that's how we do it. You're so right. There are too many people all strapped financially. The next generation is even worse. We have to take calculated risk investing, or it will be impossible to get ahead. Exactly, Victor Morel. That's why when Paul Castillo says, I got burnt by crypto, that's, yes, we all got burnt by crypto, but Paul Castillo, you can't stop. The reason you can't stop. The cost of living is not going to just stay what it is today. It's going to be higher next year. And it's going to be higher 2 years from now. This is why you have to get in on the thing. So when you have a business, just like right now, when I talk about pre-construction, and I'm all happy that over 50 people, nearly 60, I think we're at 60 in the SSN Nation have actually bought in. Well, it's actually 50 people, but altogether there's over 65 to 70 units, because some people bought 2, some people bought 3, some people bought 4, some people bought 5, some people bought 6 and 7. So it's 50 people, but there's damn near 70 units that people have bought. Here's the thing. No matter what happens, prices are not going down. So what I mean is, if I have a rental property, traditionally, yes, there may be dips, but it's not going to go 3 years from now. If you think that all of us in the Dominican Republic who bought condos and villas, if you think the prices are going to be the same, I don't see how you could say that if you know you're going to add 2 million more visitors by air just in Punta Cana. So if you know that, then how do you think prices are going to stay the same due to supply and demand? Not everybody's going to want to stay at an all-inclusive resort, but of course people stay at all-inclusive resorts. Why? Let's just say why. Let me know why you guys stay at all-inclusive resorts. You know why you stay there, right? I'm going to tell you this is why I stay at them. Well, I only stay at one in the whole planet. I don't stay at any other. I stay at Hard Rock. I'm like Victor Morel. I don't really care about RIU. I don't care about Dreams. I don't care about none of them. I stay at Hard Rock because I like how it's set up. Some people would say, oh man, you got to do all that tram ride to the front. It's way up there. No, don't worry. I'm getting the room up front, so I don't care, because I just want to walk to the beach. I'm not coming back up there. I'm getting on the tram if I do come back up, because I know what I'm going up there for. I'm going up there to eat. I'm going up there to get my gelato. I'm going up there. That's it. Man, I might go in the, little bars and stuff, but otherwise I'm hanging down by the beach because I can still get my drinks shipped out to me while I'm sitting in the sand. So again, my favorite spot, right? Because they have everything. That's why people stay at all-inclusives. I have my rock climbing, my basketballs, the mini golfs, the lazy rivers, the water parks, all I can eat and drink, different restaurants, and they treat you like a king. Nightclub, casino, all that's there. So it makes sense that people are going to stay at all-inclusive spots. So not every spot has the same thing, but they're getting more and more. Like Lopasan is off the charts. It doesn't look cool, but it's off the charts, right? They have shopping now, more shopping than they used to. They've added shopping now. I don't get that part, but nonetheless. So what happens? They've been able to get all the fat over all these years. Why? Because most people either stay at the all-inclusive or they're only going to stay at a condo or villa. And when they stay at the condo or villa, there's nothing else happening, right? There's like, okay, the neighborhood has whatever it has. We're going to go to the, like, for instance, last time I stayed, we didn't stay at Hard Rock. We stayed I tried Airbnb because I never did Airbnb, so I wanted to check it out. So when I stayed there, yes, I was in El Cordacito, Los Corrales. I loved it. But there's no water, nothing. Other than the ocean is close by. But what I'm saying is there's no water park. There's no game rooms, because I'm staying in a condo with a pool, fitness center. There's none of these extracurricular activities. No easy, unlimited restaurant stuff. You have to choose, right? It's cool. no problem. But I'm trying to say those are two choices you had up until about a year ago. And even VistaCon is not fully formed yet. Nothing's fully formed. None of the big projects are fully formed. Once the big projects get fully formed, you have to start thinking, ladies and gentlemen, if somebody's going to pay $600 per night at all inclusive, or $800, which is what they do during prime times or more, then you have to start thinking, well, wait a minute. If my place has mini golf and fitness centers and spas and restaurants and sports complex and golfing and rock climbing and lazy rivers or water parks of some sort, now all of a sudden the all-inclusives are still going to be popping, but now people are going to be like, well, wait a minute. I can stay up here and they're only going to charge me, who knows, $200 a night. So, and I can fit more people in my room. So who cares if I'm going to be spending $400 a day to have fun at this mega park? Nobody's going to care. They're just going to sit there and say, okay, I didn't stay at Hard Rock and it didn't cost me like last year, $1,300 per night, January, February, March, April, and May. But I stayed over here. Like I could have stayed at Cana Rock for $100, $125 a night for 2 nights. I mean, per night. I could have gotten an all-day pass every day and only spent like $250. This is the value of that. That's the value. If a Hard Rock is charging $1,300 per night, I can get a 2-bedroom at Cana Rock for $200 and $334. $354. I'll give you an all-day pass. Do you not think I might be able to charge a little bit more if they're charging $1,300? Why wouldn't I? I would just say, okay, $400, $459, includes all-day pass for Hard Rock. I make $300 per night. I'm down. I'm happy. You stay 7 nights, I make 2 G's. If we get 50% occupancy, we got 4 G's. 3,250 less fees, call it 3,000, $6,000 per month. Do you not like $70,000 a year, ladies and gentlemen? That's one way you can go. But what if you don't have to pay the $154, but you can still charge people $300 per night because there's a water park, because there's a roller coaster, because there's man-made beaches, golf courses, all this stuff, depending on which project you're in? You're still going to make the same amount of money. I'm just saying. All right? I'm just saying. I am just saying. You're so right. Raydel Cabezas. Oh my God. Tell me, how did you pull this off, Raydel Cabezas? Congratulations, Raydel Cabezas. Hey, Eric, big news. We just bought a 3-bedroom villa at McCow Hills with Nestor. Are you saying Nestor didn't hit me up? Are you saying, hold on, I got to slap him. I'm happy. Are you saying something came available? What the heck, man? Congratulations. So did you pay $112,999? Oh, wait, 3-bedroom. Yes, $112,999, $115,000. What was the deal? What's the deal? Let me know, man. Let us know. You know you can't just break this down for us like this. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you heard me correct. Pre-construction, no credit check, no qualifying. He bought a 3-bedroom, but it's 914 square feet. And it's a villa. They have a clubhouse. They have pickleball courts. A clubhouse has a restaurant, I believe, and it has a pool, and it has a restaurant, pickleball, pool. I'm missing something. There's something else. Probably a kid's playground. Oh, transportation to and from their Avalon Beach Club at McCow. That's right. That's pretty major. And they have a hotel that's going to be at McCow Hills. which gives you something to price your unit against. And a hotel is just a studio unit. So if they charge $125 a night, right? How much is your 3-bedroom worth that you're only going to buy for 113, 114,000 or less? Let me know. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. You can see it. Congratulations, Rodel Cabezas. That's one hell of an investment. Also, so let me know, did they have units available? Were you on the waiting list? How did you get this? Because we have several people on the waiting list. Rodel Cabezas. Also looking into buying a 1-bedroom condo. I knew he was going to say something like this. Macau Gardens as well. Big potential there, I think. If you're going to buy a 1-bedroom, I would only suggest 3rd floor. But remember, Macau Gardens, it does not have elevators. So either you're going to have to go 1st floor, which means you have a barbecue grill. Barbecue areas, because that's all they have, a pool. Or you're going to stay on the 3rd floor. And why 3rd floor, in case people aren't familiar with Macau Gardens, is because on the 3rd floor, everybody on 3rd floor has rooftop, which in the rooftop area has its own terrace, and only people on the 3rd floor can get into the rooftop. So that has barbecue grills and, I want to call it cabanas, but that's not really what's up there. It's like a covering and seating area. So that's kind of cool. And the difference in price is minimal, only a few G's. So not major. But I think there's a 1-bedroom at Macau Gardens still available. I think. So that's how we do it. Rodel Cabezas, yes, I paid $112,999. All right, Rodel Cabezas, and you did say, yeah, I'm from SSN Nation, so another member's blowing down the markets. And by the way, Rodel Cabezas, first of all, I might as well just tell you guys, he owns at the beach. The man's going on a buying. Here's the funny part. He's going to buy, if he gets his 1-bedroom, he's going to have a 1-bedroom and a 1-bedroom condo, a 3-bedroom villa in Macau. Total cost is going to be like 180 grand, 2 units. So the question I want to ask you, ladies and gentlemen, you're investors. Can you rent the 3-bedroom and a 1-bedroom unit combined for $180 per night? Because we're looking for 1%. And if we get 60% occupancy, which is pretty possible, I can rent the 3-bedroom unit. 3-bedroom unit. Let's just say $125 a night. I rent the 1-bedroom unit for $75 a night. Is that reasonable? I think so. That's $200. So that means I think that's reasonable. When you throw in the part about transportation to and from the Avalon Beach Club that's at Macau, 200 yards, it's 600 yards, I think, from the ocean. And the shuttle will take you down to the beach as well. That's worth a lot from a rental standpoint. And the hotel that they're going to put is worth a lot because you need a hotel. That's always good. And that actually helps you out, because what people don't realize is when people stay at the hotel, they start looking around and they're like, what's this? These are villas? And then they start finding out, well, how much are these villas? And some people are going to be charging $99 a night because they bought theirs at $99. Some people are going to be charging $110 per night. And people are going to be like, wait, I stayed at this hotel for like $90 a night. I could have just stayed in one of these villas. Or I could have stayed at the condo for less. I mean, it's going to start being like, this is crazy. So just think about it. And they have the transportation, which is a bonus. So yes, paid $112,999. Congratulations. Congratulations. Very well done. Yeah, I was on the waiting list. And Rodel Cabezas, just so you guys know, he has a penthouse unit at the beach in downtown Punta Cana. The unit size is roughly, I believe, 2,400 square feet. And it's a penthouse unit. So his deck, I can't remember the deck sizes there, but they're pretty big because he has 2 decks. One off the master bedroom and one off of the living dining room area. Okay, Victor Rodel, you guys went all out. Congratulations. Payments are still 20% down payment, 30% during, 50% at closing. Yep. SSN Nation, baby. Thank you so much for that. Yes. Thank you, Rodel Cabezas. And I know Nestor got a kick out of it when you said, hey, man, I'm from SSN Nation. I saw you on the live streams. Yes, I'm here. And I didn't know you got on the waiting list. That is awesome. There's a few people still here on the SSN Nation that's on the waiting list. There's at least 3 other people that I know is on the waiting list. Ariam Kaye is talking about he wants another one. I can't believe it. Dude is tripping. He's going to have like 10 units before the end of the year at this rate. He's up to, I think, 7. It's incredible. It's incredible. And I can't say nothing bad about it because this is exactly, he's creating his own business empire exponentially. So some people would say, well, why is he doing all this? Well, treat it as individual businesses. That's why you have to think all of a sudden, just think about this. If he has 7 units, and let's say all 7 can't rent, but let's just say on average, he has like 50% of those. But here's the thing that people forget. When he bought something at Boca Chica, I believe it was 70 grand. When he bought at Macau Hills, it was like 99 grand for the 3-bedroom, I think. When he bought something, I mean, everything he's buying is at entry levels, first phase levels. So he can rent these places for $100 a night and under. There's only one other he bought for more than, well, maybe 2. I think he bought for more than, no, because he bought at Urbe Vista. Inside Vista Cana, the penthouse unit was $99,000. So all of these he can rent for $100, $90, $100, $110. That's all reasonable. And eventually he's going to be able to do $150, $200 because he's bought in nice locations that were undervalued at the time. He got early entry. So these are all separate. So he's already going to be making over $100,000 per year passively because he has the numbers. There's about 4 people that's going to be doing that, 5 people that's going to be doing that here. So just keep that in mind. Yeah, Nestor, he's got it right, man. Jaway J, he says, congratulations. And it is Jaway J. Congratulations, Raydell. Congratulations to the Cabezas family. Jaway J doing his thing. Nestor was professional all class. Thank you for the connection, Eric. Thank you, Raydell Cabezas. Yeah, he's a great guy. He is that guy. And by the way, November 6th through the 8th, Nestor's going to be in the house as well. You're going to be meeting the man as well in the flesh. So if people don't know what I'm talking about November 6th through the 8th, the SSN Lifestyle Punta Cana Real Estate Investor and Business Forum. $199 per person. Sign up now. All right. The sooner you sign up, the better. Now, where is that at? I thought I had it. Here we go. I'll put it on the screen. Thank you for mentioning that, Raydell Cabezas. That's what I love about Nestor. He's got a good personality, good temperament, very honest guy. He's pretty cool all the way around. Love how his demeanor is. And we got to have him back on once again. But thank you, Raydell Cabezas. And again, November 6th through the 8th, he's going to be there. Mr. Stasio is going to be there. Johan Confidante, the preeminent lawyer in the DR, is going to be here, there for you. Then we're going to have, Gwen, who was on talking about Larimar, is going to be there. Hetzel from Cruise on Land, not going to be there. She says she's going to be off, but you know what? They have a showroom. So we're going to Cruise on Land anyhow, with or without it. We got to go check this lay of the land out, right? How far is it up this from the airport? How far is it from downtown? Like, if it really matters. Raydell, $112K for a 3-bedroom villa is outstanding. Yes, it is. Especially in Macau. This is outstanding. Go to SSN Lifestyle, ladies and gentlemen. Raydell Cabezas. Congrats, Raydell. Great job. And Vanessa Comagate says, good night. Go to ssnlifestyle.com to go register for the Real Estate Investors and Business Forum. You only see a short list here. Realtors, lawyers, all right, builders, brokers, transportation, excursion package guys, furniture package people. And that's not furniture package from resort or your pre-construction. Vanessa Comagate says, good night, SSN fam. Love you all. Good night, Seamless Genius. Thank you so much once again for being here in the house. Very nice to see you. Looking forward to that news. Make sure you come back on Wednesday Friday nights, Monday, Wednesday, Friday night live stream, because you never know when the Seamless Genius is about to drop another gem on a business that you can do. That's right. Ordinary citizens, you can do the business. She's doing a mailbox business in a retail location. That's what she's doing. She's going to tell us how to get in easier. She has given out some of it, but she's putting it all together. All right. So think about that. Raydell Cabezas says, thank you, Jaway J. Exactly, man. Congrats is right. Thank you, Victor Morel. And you know what's very interesting, Raydell Cabezas, I don't remember what building you're in at the beach, but yeah, hopefully you're not in the 20s, because if you are, then Macau could be built almost the same time, the way at their rate they're going. So, but I don't think you're in the 20s because you got a nice price. So you're at the beginning. So you're probably in first phase. So, and I see they had people out there. Thank you at Victor Marrero. Paul Castillo at Raydell Cabezas. Do they have more 3-bedroom villas available? Paul Castillo, you got to get on the waiting list. You're going to have to see Nestor, my man. Here, let me give you Nestor's phone number for everybody. It's WhatsApp. All right, go see him. Get on the waiting list. That's AS. In fact, hit him up right now. Send him a message. +1 809 918 1228, and let them know you're from SSN Nation. All right. So, I put this in the box as well to go sign up for SSN Lifestyle, November 6th through the 8th. And here's Nestor's number that's in the chat room. All right. So go check him out. Yeah. Building 5. That's what I was remembering. So you're on the cusp of the edge of delivery. Aren't you? You're on delivery. You're on the edge of delivery right now. Hey, Raydell. I mean, even though I love you got Macau and all that, but I got to ask, at the beach, are you doing a inspection, so to speak? Not you. At this point at the beach, if anybody's watching, you're at the beach, I would probably have to get another inspector. All right. In America, we could have an inspector come through. I'd probably have an inspector. I don't know if they have them, but I would. If you own at the beach, go get an inspector before you take any signs for delivery. That's what I would say. All right. That's my advice, because the place is so freaking beautiful, man. It's so beautiful. The buildings, I'm in love with their design of their building. They're simple, but I like that little curve at the top for the Soleils. It's beautiful. Hey, Raydell, where do you guys live now? Are you in Punta Cana? Good point. Good point. WhatsApp this is for Nestor, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody on podcast, 1. It's +1 for WhatsApp, 809-918-1228. Let Nestor know you're from SSN Nation. Make sure you mark it down, SSN Nation. All right. Closing in November. Raydell Cabezas. Okay. But again, this is October. Send an inspector over Raydell Cabezas. I don't know how much they cost or whatever, but it's worth the $300 or $250. In DR, I guess it might be $150. Who knows? But just make sure you go over there. Jaway J says, at Paul, make me an offer. Jaway J, you're still going to sell. Jaway J has 2 units at Macau Hills for everybody. If you missed last week, he was telling George that he would sell. Let me know if he's still going to sell it at $112,999 or what you're selling it for. Once again, Jaway J, you have every right to let people know, because there might be somebody watching this right now. So afterwards on the replay, so let them know. And if you need to, if somebody wants to buy at Macau Hills, all you got to do is hit me up at support@stopstrugglingnow.com, support@stopstrugglingnow.com, and I will forward your information over to Jaway J. All right. So let people know how much you're going to sell it for. All right. Raydell Cabezas says we are in Toronto, Canada, Victor. Cool. Right on. In one of the most expensive places in the freaking world. It's incredible. I remember when Canada used to be the nice little low price neighbor, still nice, first world type atmosphere. And then all of a sudden, blew up. I mean, it's outrageous. Stuff that 8 years ago used to be ordinary citizen territories. Now things are like Miami. It's outrageous up there. It's kind of cool if you had real estate. This you never know when the explosion occurs. By the way, something I did not mention because it's not in Dominican Republic for Dominican Republic Weekly. Did you guys know Miami is the fifth? 5. Number 5 on the real estate investment charts. Miami. And people are wondering how the price increases are popping up so high. It's because it's that spot right now. $1.2 million, $1.3 million at REA Reserve that overlooks is on the Biscayne Bay with what was it, 500 linear feet of dock space. $1.3 million condo. The tallest twin tower condo complex in North America. You now have to buy them at 1.9. $600,000 in a year increase in price. Insane. Search the channel. I actually showed you guys about this, but the price at that time was already like 1.6, 1 to 1.7, 1.65 or something like that. Now they're at 1.9. And that's just for the 1 bedroom. The other ones are over 2 mil. Incredible. Incredible. All right, let's see. Yahweh, what do you have and price? Well, okay. I'll just tell you, last week he's told George 112,999, I think. If my mind remembers right. Yahweh, what do you have in price? He has a 3-bedroom villa. The one you're looking for on the waiting list. Raydell Cabezas, Canada is a mess. Exactly. Going to live in Punta Cana soon. Exactly. Raydell Cabezas, I have to agree with you 120%. Because of all of that boom, people think capitalism is the way to go. Sometimes it's not. A perfect laid out cities and everything was cool. And all of a sudden it's like Miami of the North in some locations. It's crazy. But he's going to go with the simpler life. Raydell, I see why you enjoy tropical weather. Yes, Toronto real estate is out of control. It takes big money to own, just like Miami. Exactly. Exactly the same as Miami. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is almost going to end it because, again, if you're not getting your fourth quarter investors mindset on, then you have to look right here. We have people out here making moves. $112,000, $113,000 for 3-bedroom. I believe it's 3-bedroom, 2-bath villas, if I'm not mistaken. It's at Macau Hills. Search the channel. I have Macau Hills videos with Nestor. And remember, and some of them was lower than that if you would have known about it like 8-9 months ago. But 112,999 is what it is now. Phase 3, I don't know what phase 3 means, whether it's a new development or they're adding to this. If they have the space, they should be adding to this, which hopefully they'll add additional amenities, which would be sweet. That would change the game. But remember, now is the time to make these investments. You have opportunities. No credit check, no qualifying. I'm just saying you put money down, and Macau Hills is 3 years from now. So you have 30 monthly payments. I don't know what their payments are. I think it's Victor Moreau, I think, said it. Wasn't it 20, 30, 50? 20% down, 30% during construction, 50%. But again, all that's negotiable for me. You could just tell them 10% down, 40% during construction, 3 years from now. And really, $40,000, 36 payments, $1,200 a month, maybe, something like that. So not bad for a 3-bedroom in Macau. Macau, again, it's up and coming. It's basically in its infancy. There's nothing out there. It's jungle. So whoever buys now, you win by default. They're bringing in 5-star hotels. They're bringing in the Hyatt's going to be at the beach. The West End is also supposed to have another one out there. I haven't heard much about it. Maybe it was just rumor. But there's going to be 2 5-star hotels right on Macau Beach. There's already 2. Now there's going to be 4. which gives a value in that area because there's nothing else hardly there. Then they're going to build downtown. Well, it's hard to say what their downtown really is, but they have ideas on how they're going to do their downtown, which is the area off of the freeway to the right. There's not much room, in my opinion, but maybe they'll expand the area or something. I don't know. But the point is, they have surfing competitions there. They have those little, the mutter type things there because the waves are a little more rough there. So just keep that in mind. All right, Raydel Cabezas. Let's go. Don't want to be political, but you guys have a rock star for prime minister, Victor Marrero. Oh my God. Another trust fund kid running a country. It's incredible. What could go wrong? I'm not. Wow. Raydel, I see why you enjoy tropical weather. Yeah. Victor Marrero, I'm glad you have that laugh out there. Yeah. Another trust fund kid. What could go wrong? Oh man, but he's doing his best. What the hell? Some decisions are kind of crazy that he does. All right, Raydel Cabezas. Eric, do you know anything about the airport they are building there? No. Hey, don't do it. Don't do it. Okay, Raydel Cabezas, if somebody's telling you that they're building airports, I don't even care if it's Nestor telling you they're building the airport. This is not a thing. Don't think like that. What happened is from the previous administration, they okayed building an airport that close to Punta Cana. By by FAA rules, you can't be that close. The airport would have to probably be somewhere around Michi's. And it's going to have to be 45 minutes away. All right. So that's the first problem you have. Second problem you have lawsuits. And the new administration, Abinader, said, we're not allowing any of the permits. We're not allowing you to build an airport. They've lost 7 court cases. With all that said, something weird happened. Oh, and by the way, the guys that own the Punta Cana International Airport, they're from the Dominican Republic. They own a lot of stuff around the island. They also don't want that additional airport. So that's another reason why they have a lot of pressure against them. But here's the thing. The weirdest twist of all, the guys that own Mexican airports like Cancun, one of the largest in the world, they bought into that pseudo BIA airport, the Bavaro Airport, as we call it, Bavaro International, BIA. They bought into it, acting as if all the court cases they lost, they revoked their licenses and all that. They're acting like, no problem, we're going to invest over here. So now they have one of the biggest companies out of Mexico that are partners with the guys. So that all of a sudden raised an eyebrow, like, what is going on? There may be hope, but have not heard definitively. And I will say this, if they do add an airport over there, that means Macau, Michi's, and all these places that's out north, it changes the whole landscape. Because not only will you have millions of passengers landing at Punta Cana International, you're probably going to have a couple million landing at a BIA if that ever happens. And that changes the north, that 30 minutes out, 35 minutes out properties, that changes everything. That creates a value that's insane. Now, I'm going to tell you something that's pretty interesting. So, 35 minutes out is on the other side, like when you go out to Verón, where Larimar Cruise on Land is, from that airport, Punta Cana Airport, out past there, if you drive past Cruise on Land on that little road and you go about another 10 minutes, guess what? You're like 35 to 40 minutes outside of town in the middle of nowhere, a perfect location you can build an airport. If they build an airport anywhere out on that perimeter in a circle, that means you can get to Macau. That means you can get to Hard Rock, Michi's, and all that. One highway straight out. You'll be there in like 10 minutes, 15 minutes. So that would change the landscape of everything, because at that point, everything out past Verón, if you put an airport out there, And now 10 to 15 minutes, you can be at Larimar Cruise on Land or at Macau or Hard Rock or something like that. That changes the whole landscape in that whole region. Yes, it's going to be at Mises. Might take me 25 minutes, but it beats 45 minutes, right? So just think about that. Just think about it. It changes things. But yeah, don't count on that airport. And all I'm going to say is this. In my heart of hearts, I believe the airport will be built, because the giveaway was when the Mexican airline company, the airport company, decided to come in and buy a piece of it. I'm like, why would you buy a piece of it if it's dead? And they have big time money. So I think ultimately it's going to be moved 45 minutes or more north of the Punta Cana airport. So wherever that lands, take your pick, 5 to 10 minutes on the other side of Macau Hills. Okay. Even if it lands at Michis, great. Even if it lands on the other side of where Larimar Cruise on Land is, great. But I think it's going to tend to be more towards Macau. If it's going to be in the fields, it might be in the fields on the west of Macau, right? I know it should not be at the air, off the water. I know that I wouldn't want it to be off the water. He is Fidel Castro's son, and I'm Cuban. Can't stand that guy. I knew you were going to say that, man. I knew you're Fidel Castro's son. Oh, my God. Okay, he's a trust fund kid, though. Raydell, we're exporting that mess to you guys. USA isn't too far behind. That's true. This is also a mess here. We're also getting the heck out of here. Like Eric said, our infrastructure is third world. Exactly. Who's going to pay for it is the question. Okay, first of all, this is a lesson for everybody. When you own real estate, most people think I get to set it and forget it. You don't get to set it and forget real estate that you own. All right? Just straight up. What starts happening is 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years. Remember, it's man-made. Things start crumbling. Things stop working. 15 years. Generally, if you own a home, I tell everybody 10 to 15 years, your air conditioning unit is going to go out, or your heater. And what do most people do? You don't do your annual inspection for your heater, your AC unit. You don't do none of that. You don't check your plumbing. You don't do nothing. You just go on year after year. Next thing you know, it's 10 years you lived in a brand new house. 11, 12 years, all of a sudden things start breaking down and you're like, what's going on? It's because you did zero maintenance and upkeep the whole time on your systems. It costs you. You have to do it. So keep that in mind when you buy these condos and villas, even in the DR. You have to do upkeep. You can't just go, well, I rent it out, I make this money, and then 8 years later, you find yourself having to spend 30, 40 grand because appliances now break down or whatever the case may be. You're sitting there like, man, because the stuff that you can buy right now might be 5,000 to 10,000, but 8 years from now, it might be 4 times that amount. So just keep those things in mind. So when we talk about infrastructure, it costs more to repair a bridge now than it did 30 years ago. In fact, you might as well damn near almost rebuild that bridge because of the cost. So this is why in America they say, we'll just patch it and go on. It'll last another 2-3 years until some travesty happens. That's what's going on in America. They have to spend trillions. You know how much infrastructure we have throughout 3,000 square miles? That's crazy. And they never cared about it. This whole time, it's like they ignore that there's an infrastructure, ignore there's highways, bridges. I'm just like, what is going on? Ignoring that you built gas stations with gas in the ground. I'm just like, what are you guys doing? You're not going to clean this stuff up? And then you wonder why our water is messed up in certain areas around the country. I'm just like, this is ridiculous. And they're not doing any. Okay, look, we have an infrastructure bill. That's great. But that infrastructure bill is going to be built out over the next 10 years. We have neglected our infrastructure for 40. How much is 10 years going to do? And the cost is going to be more next year and 3 years from now. So if you had a $50 billion infrastructure bill, I don't know what it is. By the time you get to year 4, it's going to be $100 billion. I mean, this is just so sickening. But anyhow, ladies and gentlemen, this is why we talk pre-construction. This is why we talk moving where your sphere of living is. You know, there's a large percentage of the population that doesn't even leave their city or state. That's a travesty. There are beautiful places around the world that you can live and has better infrastructure than America. I'll give you some. Europe has better infrastructure than America. Australia has better infrastructure than America. Hell, China has better infrastructure than America. South Korea, better infrastructure than America. Come on. This is absurd. These guys have trains, planes, boats, ferries. I'm like, they have people movers, and they don't let their infrastructure just go to crap. But then again, their countries are 1,000 years old, right? They already did let their countries go to crap, and then they learned from that. They were like, oh no, we can't. We know what that results in. That means our empire crumbles if we let our infrastructure crumble, because you're going to have to spend all that money trying to keep your citizens into some water running, electricity running. You know, if that's not happening, what's going to happen? You're going to have people rebelling against the government. America still hasn't got it yet because they've been able to buy their way out of everything because of them being the currency holder. All right, here we go. Eric, what do you think about investing in Los Terranos? Do they have an international airport? What's the average price of waterfront property? Okay, I don't know the average price of waterfront. If you're talking about Los Terranos, you're going to be talking about $1 million. And yes, there's an airport nearby. I believe it's the Samana Airport. They don't, it's undeveloped, another undeveloped area. Nothing wrong with Los Terranos. It's just that they don't have the numbers for tourism, but then again, they don't have a lot of places to stay there. So, catch-22. The construction of the airport has been a fight between two of the most richest families in the country. That's right. Same fight is happening in Cancun and Tulum. Exactly. The Cancun owners don't want a Tulum airport. Exactly. Victor Morel brings up the Cancun problem. And it's funny. I believe the guys that own the Cancun, Mexico one just became partners with the guys at the BIA one that they want to build. That's what's so funny about this. They're fighting the same battle a different way. On one hand, they don't want a second airport. On the other hand, they're trying to get the second airport. That's crazy. In fact, let me go double check if my information is correct. Let me see. I can't. Let me see. I put in BIA. That's not it. Bavaro. They don't recognize BIA. I forgot. Bavaro Airport partners with Mexican Airport. Let's see what happens. Here we go. Airport Giants. Okay. Mexican Airport. Let me see if it's the same guys. So just so you know, Mexican Airport, Grupo Asur has a 25% of capital. A Grupo Asur made capital investments of 17.8 million USD in AIB. I was calling it BIA. Before the start of construction, as June 1 construction is complete, Asur expects to retain a 25% stake in the company. Airports, including Cancun International Airport. See, that's what these guys, Grupo Asur, owns. They also own 60% of Aeroplan Holdings. Luis Munoz, guess which other one? Luis Munoz is in San Juan, Puerto Rico. So that's the partners for the AIB. I was calling it BIA. I thought it was Bavaro International Airport. It is, but they're calling it AIB, which is yuck. But there probably is a BIA around the world. But nonetheless, This is the guys, the Mexican airport giant put 25% stake into the AIB airport group, which is incredible. It's incredible. I'm just like, what the hell? And they have them in Colombia. See, these guys are big time. So again, and they're on the New York Stock Exchange and the Mexican Stock Exchange since 2000. So they have money to fight. And apparently, like I was saying, I'm not going to tell people there's going to be an airport there, but I believe they're going to get it done. And whether it's 45 minutes away or 50 minutes away, either way, for that location, if you're 50, 45 minutes away from Punta Cana Airport, that's a perfect location. All right. So here, let me do it another way. I'll just put it on screen. Then we're going to wrap this up tonight. In case anybody else wants anything to talk, if you want to talk about something, do so now. Okay. Check this out. Okay. Here's the Bavaro. In fact, if somebody wants to go read this is from June, I believe it was, because Radel Cabezas asked about it, because there's a lot of people that's talking about Macau and they make it misinformation. So at Larimar, when it first came out, they were talking about the second airport. Why? Because at the time, Abinader just came in and they thought they were going to allow it. Then when he revoked it, all of a sudden it's like, damn. So here it is, the Dominican today. You guys can go look at it yourselves. And so it could happen. I think it's going to happen ultimately. I just got to call it like it is. If it's in Mexico, if it's in anywhere in the Caribbean, money, actually bribe monies, even if it was in America, bribe money is going to hold out. What they're going to end up doing is coming to some sort of, you have to be X amount of miles away from me, right? That's all that's going to happen, I believe. So I'm going to pull up something on the map to give you an idea where the 104? Yeah, 105 goes down the other way. So this is going to be 104, right? Isn't 105 goes to La Romana, or is it 106? Okay, so anyhow, here's 104. Playa Esmeralda is a hot spot. All this is like free land. I mean, free deals for everybody. So let's see how far Michi's is. Here's 105. So look, this one I'm referring to. See, here's Michi's right here. If you do something like in this area, I think they're going to ultimately be somewhere in this area. That's what I think is going to happen, in my opinion. That would be a likely area. Here's Macau. So if they're not going to do it outright here, which is kind of like where I'm thinking, somewhere in this, either here, they can't do it too close. Here, doubtful. Here makes more sense. Up here makes more sense. Here's Macau. What is Macau? 30 minutes from the airport? I don't know. But let's just go 45 minutes. That get us up here at the crossroads. Now we're close to Michi's, which they're going to build. So this right here, I think, is a winning location. Now people here in this whole area, this makes all of this very interesting, because this is where a lot of 5-star resorts are going, all right here. So it makes perfectly good sense. An airport here, 45 minutes up. Then it even makes better sense, quite frankly, if you can stay close to the Samana over in this section, would even make sense as well, because you have a road south. But I think ultimately, we'll see. My prediction right in here. That about be my prediction. Almost to Michi's, but not quite. That's my prediction. Close enough to Punta Cana still. So now it has an effect on both sides. Michi's, the western, northeast, northwest shore, and then you can still come back down, and that alleviates all the traffic that's going to have to come through Punta Cana Airport. Remember, we're going to have another 2 million passengers coming through Punta Cana in 2 years. So if you think 4.8 that they're going to have or 5.2 this year, just think next year 5.5 to 6, then the next 6.5 to 7. So it's going to be pretty close to those numbers landing at Punta Cana Airport, especially when that train comes. Oh, that's going to change things. There's too much stuff happening in Dominican Republic on the eastern side of the island, and it's going to trickle over to the rest of the island. Again, if you miss the Dominican Republic today, they have now new planes, Reef Air, and another airline, which I can't remember the name of it. Reef Air is one of the airlines that are doing connections. So if you're coming from Europe and you say, hey, I can't get that connection from, let's say, UK to Santo Domingo, now all of a sudden, you don't want to stay in Santo Domingo. You want to stay over in Santiago. Well, traditionally, you got to fly somewhere, lay down for about 12 hours, then get over somehow to Santiago. Well, now you land at Punta Cana, you have a short layover. Now you're getting on a plane in Punta Cana going over to Santiago. They plan on doing this to other parts like Puerto Plata and some of that mountain region, because there's an airport in the mountain region. I can't remember where it is, but it's over by Jarabacoa, right? Because that's going to be a tourist destination. It's mountains. Whenever there's mountains, people go hiking, people go off grid, people do all kinds of things. They're going to turn that into a tourist area. And remember, Mr. Stasio has something over there for 120 grand. That's going to be a hot spot, especially when they start doing the infrastructure. So that's it, ladies and gentlemen. If you still haven't invested in the Dominican Republic, all I can tell you is your time is still not up. It's the fourth quarter in DR. I'm just going to say this because I was talking with Mo Better via WhatsApp, and we were talking about the situation with, in fact, I'm going to pull this up right now. We were talking about the train, and he was starting to say that the train, the values are going to rise even quicker in Punta Cana. And I was like, well, let's see. And then I started realizing, wait a minute. We're already past 10% increases annually. Think about this. Remember last year, about this time, we started talking about Larimar. Remember, Larimar one bedroom was $89,500 or thereabouts, and the two bedroom was $118,900. Okay, the one bedrooms you can still buy. There's one bedroom at Larimar, $94,000. There's another one, $99,000. Everything else is like in the 100s and up. So if you go 90,000 plus 10% means 99,000. So it's already went 10%. Which is actually kind of strange because the 118,900 two bedroom, it didn't just go up 12 grand. It went up like 30%. So you have to buy something for 140, 150, 160, and in some cases 40%. So I was like, hold on. If this happens another year, another for two bedrooms, another 30 or 40% increase year over year, then that means by the time the train comes in, we're talking about another almost, it's 100%. So I was like, damn, I didn't realize the prices are moving pretty fast. We talk about them almost every live stream, and you don't realize how much they're moving up. And they're moving up real fast and not even realizing it because it's incremental. So when we say 130, because it was 118 or 119, you're like, oh, yeah, okay, 10, 11 grand. But in reality, that was 10%. When you go 140, 150, that's like damn near 30%. So all of a sudden, you're like, hold on a second. I didn't realize these things were escalating that much. 2-bedroom units now, ladies and gentlemen, for condos, you guys are getting warned. They are now no longer 160 and up. They're like 180 to over the low twos right now in most locations. And in fact, Larimar is now joining the party because remember, in the Breeze Towers, it's $167,000 for the lower level, and then $2,000 up for each level. So if you find yourself on the 9th floor, that is $187,000. So year over year, the units are slightly bigger, yes, by 100 square feet, 130 square feet in some instances. But the point I'm trying to make is 119, now 187 for the same 9th floor units, except, of course, like I say, the extra 100 square feet, well, depends, 890 or 920. It all depends on which floor and things like that. But all I'm trying to say is that starts to make things very interesting. All right. Very, very interesting, because at that square meter price, at $2,000 per square meter, then you have to go the 118, which is 792 square feet, 800. That means it's worth 160. So it's easy to tell that's 35% if my numbers are correct, roughly, year over year. And if it goes up 35% again, that means we're definitely in the 200s. All right. So just keep these things in mind. Remember, I told you guys it's going to be 2,000 per square meter marching on to 3 in normal spots, not Cap Cana. Cap Cana is going to go from 3,500, 3,000 to 4,000, which is what it's in now, is going to be 3,500 to 4,500 at the end of this year in Cap Cana per square meter. Just drop off a 0, and that's per square foot. So that's what you have to start thinking about, because this is starting to get crazy, and they are doing their damnness to bring things to a head here. All right, we're going to wrap this up, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to get some sleep tonight. It's quite exciting. Congratulations once again to Radel Cabezas. He's actually trying to do the damn thing. And if I didn't give enough of my advice, I probably have the prices for Let me go look up something. Now, again, Macau Gardens do not have elevators. This is part of the reason why the property's inexpensive. I would, again, a lot of people look at it two ways. A person would say, I have elderly, since we have to take stairs, I want to be on the first floor. That's fine. I submit, first floor is fine if there's no elevators. But I submit to you, I'm going to give you an example. Remember I was talking about the Sphere and Desert Club Resort? Unbelievably, in Las Vegas, Desert Club Resort is about 5 or 6 levels high. All right? No elevator. 2-bedroom units. 4, 5, 6 people staying, carrying their bags, except I won't get you all excited about that. Why? Because they have a front desk. They have concierge. Concierge will take your bags up. i.e., Macau Hills has hotel. Possibly can take somebody's bags up, but it's Macau Gardens, so I don't know if they'll have that service. But all I'm trying to say is I would go for the 3rd floor with or without. Most people don't need the 1st floor. Yes, you may miss out on a instant booking of some sort where people say I'm elderly or I can't walk upstairs. So you might miss out on that booking. But in contrast, when you tell them if you're on the 3rd floor, you have a deck, a terrace area with a place you can lounge, barbecue, and whatever else is up there, that weighs much more in your favor. And people don't mind going 3 levels up, just so people know. People go 5 or 6 levels up at Desert Club Resort in Las Vegas. In fact, in Arizona, because it's 112, 115, a lot of properties do not have elevators. So when Scottsdale, and you're staying at Scottsdale Villa Mirage or Scottsdale Resort, they're 4 or 5 levels high, have to take the stairs. And people pay big bucks to take the stairs during prime time, which is January, February, March, and April. I'm just saying. So a stairs is not end all be all, especially if you have a reason for people to stay there and go up there, up the stairs. So that's one of the keys with Macau Gardens. I would go with third floor if you can get it for a one bedroom. Yeah, it might not be cheap as the first floor, but you're going to have a way better marketing concept when you tell them you have a terrace versus no terrace. I'm just saying. All right. So hopefully that helps you out. And Paul Castillo, congratulations to you as well for the Larimar purchase, pool view, third floor. Congratulations for you as well. In fact, we're over 50 now. Now that I'm thinking about it, after Paul Castillo, now he's got 2 properties. He did the damn thing. Cruise on Land, a great price, unbelievable. $127,000 fully furnished at Cruise on Land. Ladies and gentlemen, regardless of what I think about their contract, that's almost too hard to pass up. $127,000 for a 2-bedroom fully furnished at Cruise on Land. If the price goes up $10,000, $137,000 fully furnished Cruise on Land, that's still a bargain. We're at $180,000 to $210,000, $215,000 right now for 2 bedrooms around all the other projects. So that is a bargain. Unbelievable, quite frankly. I just can't believe it. I can't believe it. And then Raydel Cabezas surprises us today, and he gets a Macau villa on the wait list. Congratulations again. Thank you, Eric. You're welcome, man. Congratulations to you. Because again, if he lives at the penthouse, let's say he lives at the penthouse, right? Now he sits there and says, okay, when they're built this in 2026, Macau Hills Villa, he has another way. He could possibly be bringing in enough to pay for his HOAs, plus some of his, if he has a loan, he could get $1,000 to $1,500 per month. That would be possibly good enough to handle it. It's incredible. And things could even get crazier than that, because if Macau turns into where there's an airport, which makes it 20 minutes from Macau Hills versus 30, I don't know how long it takes to drive up to Macau. But if you have that, now you have more hotels, you have more people staying in the area. Now all of a sudden his $113,000, and if he can rent that at $175, that's reasonable. I mean, geez, 50% occupancy, 15 room nights at $175. I don't know what the number is, but $3,000 if it was $200 a night. So let's call it $2,800, something like that, I think. So we'll call it $2,800. And then take off 25%. So $2,100. If you can get $22,000 per month from that property, it's doable. $175 a night for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath villa. It's doable. Clubhouse, pickleball court, tennis court. I can't remember, but restaurant, I believe, there, hotels there, which means I don't know if you'll be able to go into the hotel, but the hotel should have a restaurant in there too, right? So your guests, that would be lovely for them. And this transportation that's valuable. So again, you got to love the cheap price if you can get in. And third phase won't be that cheap. I can guarantee you it won't be that. Maybe 120, 130, but the ship has sailed. So congratulations again, Raydel Cabezas, Paul Castillo. You guys, welcome to the party in a big way. I'm very, very proud of you guys. And thank you so much for always listening to what I have to say and what other people that they say here and give advice, because we have a lot of people that have done short-term rentals, and you guys have been listening very well. And I am so happy and proud for you guys, because you guys, I mean, you're not going to lose at these price points. That's what makes it so special. You're saying, what's the worst case? A lot of people say, man, what's the worst case scenario? Well, the worst case would be, a hurricane could be worst case. But luckily, they're not made of wood. They're making concrete. With Larimar has hurricane-proof windows in theirs. Not all places are putting hurricane-proof windows in there. So just saying, but what's the worst case scenario? Yes, hurricanes, that's the worst. Your building's going to be there. So you may have a problem for a month, a week, days, who knows? But the fact of the matter is your property isn't going to be like in California, where if there was some hurricane tornadoes, where you have total destruction because your house is made of wood. That's not going to be a problem, right? So I don't know what the worst case scenario is. What, all of a sudden tourists stop coming to the top 5 medical tourism facility spot, Dominican Republic, the top 5 wellness centers for tourism, the top 9 in TripAdvisor most popular destinations to visit. I mean, how much more stuff do we need here? Right? Number 1 in the Caribbean for visitors, number 2 in all Latin America for tourists. I mean, what more? No, what's the worst? What, somebody's not going to show up? What, you're going to lose 5 million tourists all of a sudden? Nobody wants to come to the DR after you build these mega projects, after you build these nice little all-inclusives and 5-star resorts all over the place. Come on. Okay, before I go, I'm going to give you guys one last story. I talked about Vino Bello last time. I told this story before. You guys know, if you saw one of the last videos that I did, I can't remember which one it was. I believe it was the one with the replay with Gwen. If you saw the latter half of that, I talked about Vino Bello, which I've talked about this place before. It's one of my favorite places. But I'll tell this story that I've told before. I'm sitting in the wine cave. We're in the wine cave doing wine tasting. And this lady and the man is married next to us. And he says, honey, I don't want to go back to St. John. What was it? St. Thomas. I think it was St. Thomas, St. John's. I can't remember which one. But I don't want to go back to St. Thomas. Okay, now remember, she's staying at the Meritage side. The Meritage side is basically a hotel room. And they're nice, but, you know, it's a hotel room, upscale, luxury, nice. They're about $500, $650 per night. So she's saying, I don't really like it here. I want to go back to the Westin in the Virgin Islands. And I'm like, see, I'm in the travel business, and I know the Westin in the Virgin Islands cost over $1,000 per night. Okay? But I'm sitting here thinking the Westin at the Virgin Islands does not have a wine cave. I'm like, wait a minute. What the heck is she saying? There's no bowling alley. There's no Crush Lounge. There's no game room with dartboards. I mean, what is she saying? I'm like, this is crazy. But she's sitting there adamant about it. And I'm like, this is insane. She's staying at a 5-star resort with cabanas, adult pool, fire pits, vineyard. And she's talking about the Westin. Is it St. Thomas? I just can't remember where it is. The Westin in the Virgin Islands that she just came from, that he had to spend over $1,200 per night, and she's bitching. And so then I piped up and I said, okay, look, I know where you're staying at. Would it help if he paid less, half price, and you could get a 1-bedroom over here, right next door, with the fireplace, a full kitchen, and it's around 1,200 square feet with a hot tub in your room? Would that help? And she's still like, I want to go back to the Westin. I was just like, this is crazy. But my point being, some people will go to where they want to go. Price does not matter. Location matters, and the resort itself. Just like me and Victor Marrero, we're partial to Hard Rock. That's how it is. Somebody says Hard Rock, or I'm like, there's no or. If it's all inclusive, I'm staying at Hard Rock. There's no or. They'll say, yes, Lopasan that I saw, it's kind of nice, but it doesn't have the vibes. See, Hard Rock has vibes. That's all I can tell you. It's a cool place. It has vibes. Lopasan looks like concrete and nothing major. It's cool, but it's not a place that I'd want to hang out. But there's so many places, but I don't need to go any other place. Hard Rock, to me, number 1. Now, that's it. That's the only story I can tell you, because if you're investing in real estate, don't think that because you bought in a certain location, like okay, I'll do this one last thing. I'll go to the other side. There's a lot of Victor Marrero owns at Conner Rock. There's a lot of people who go to Conner Rock and they say, I don't like Conner Rock. It doesn't have what the big boys have, right? Okay, fine. Some people say, well, there's a beach here. Okay, that's cool. But some people would say, okay, fine. But the thing is, they are going to upgrade. They're going to have a commercial zone. They're going to make it better. And then Victor Marrero and a few others decided, hey, do I have ocean view from here? Soon as you do an ocean view, that changes the game, regardless of where it is on the island. So when somebody's in Punta Cana and they say, yes, I have ocean view, that changes the game. Doesn't matter where the ocean view is. If the ocean view is from 100 feet away, 500 yards away, 1,000, 2 miles away, you got ocean view. You have pool view. That matters as well. So we talked about this on the last live stream. So when you're doing things and you say, which villa do I want to pick if you had a choice? And one is like, I can see a pool, I can see a basketball court, I can see a golf course. All those have additional price increases for you. All right. Just like Paul Castillo, he took 3rd floor, pool view at Larimar. Smart. Because, like I showed on Friday, when we went to go see hotels, what do? Garden View, lower price. Let's just say Garden View, $300 a night. Pool View, $349 a night. Ocean View, $499 a night. Those are your 3 things. Look at hotels and what they charge for different locations. So when somebody tells you at a complex and they say, like at Cruise on Land, and they say, do you want Garden View? Do you want Pool View? You best believe you need to take Pool View. All right? Simple as that. When somebody says at Larimar, do you want that horizon view, which is ocean view? Do you want pool view? Do you want man-made lake view? You better take one of those 3. Because no view or scenic view, it's going to be the lowest rental value. That's how it works. All right? So you guys got all the game plan. And all you guys are doing great. So once again, congratulations, everybody. And the guys, thank you for letting us know that you bought tonight and last Friday, because you guys are picking the right units for what's available. You're picking the right prices. You're doing everything right. And what I love about it is you have no idea, because once that thing lands in your lap, when you take delivery, if you guys are still young, where you have like 35, 40 years to go, you will be like, oh my God, I cannot believe this, because 5 years from now, something you bought for under $200,000, you're going to possibly be renting it for $300 per night or something, $295. And you're going to be sitting there going, I can't believe this. I made like 30, 40 G's this year. If I'd have known I was going to do this, I could have bought 2 more and made 100 and something. You know what I'm saying? That's what's going to happen later on. But here's the point I'm trying to make. Stop struggling now. You will achieve it, because then at that point, you're going to be sitting there like, for the rest of your life, you're going to start, unless something catastrophic happens like a pandemic, you're going to be sitting there collecting potentially like $100,000 to $150,000 annually for something you did like 5 years earlier, 10 years earlier. And you get to sit back, travel around, and you'll be like, damn, I don't even have, what am I going to do now? I have all this extra money, and go have fun is what you're going to do, right? So go do it. But you've done the hard part. Now you've done the next. Now you got to do the hard part, complete the task, get delivery, and then go from there. Everything will go as planned. You'll thank yourself 5 years from now. You'll be like, damn, I'm glad I bought this stuff. I can't believe how cheap I got it for. And you're going to be happy because you're going to have equity, but don't fall in love with equity, because you're not going to sell it. All right. Just keep that in mind. All your neighbors are going to be saying, yeah, man, my property's worth X amount. All you care about is, how much am I making this month? Is it 5 G's? Is it 7 G's? Is it 3 G's? All you care about, I got 3 G's a month coming in from this property. I have 2 G's a month coming in from that property. That's all you're going to care about. And you don't have to mess with the prices. You don't have to worry about inflation. because it takes care of itself. Prices go up automatically when it comes to hospitality business. So it's not like you have to call up a renter and say, hey, man, I got to raise your rent like $300. Then they say, well, give me my 60-day notice. I'm leaving. And now no, you don't even have to do anything. All you do is just say, my rent was $259 per night last year. Now it's $299 because everybody's charging it or more. So you don't even have to beg to do anything. You just make it so. Like I said, in October, because of Sphere, I'm charging $599 a night for a 2-bedroom on Airbnb. I don't even know how much the hotel's charging, but I do know this, the hotel, because it's a timeshare condo hotel, I do know they're probably sold out. So people can't even get rooms. And I'd be willing to bet you they're charging probably $650 a night. But on Airbnb, they're paying $650 a night because after they add on the tax, because you got to pay tax in Nevada now from Airbnbs, it's costing probably equal to or more than if they could have reserved from the hotel, which they can't. So like I said, ladies and gentlemen, sometimes I end up charging more because of Airbnb additional charges than what the hotel charges. And that's what you guys have to understand. Just because the hotel does charge, that I talked about on Friday, $599, the Royal Sonesta in Miami, in Puerto Rico, let's say, when they come to the DR, let's just say they keep that same type of energy and they charge $599 for an ocean view or $449 for a pool view. So if you have a 2-bedroom condo, is your 2-bedroom worth more than their unit? Potentially. If they have a concert at the Cruise on Land that holds 5,000 people and the hotels are sold out, why are you going to charge $449? I'm not. I'm going to be like $599. Dynamic pricing. All right. Keep those thoughts in your head. In the month of April, we've learned one thing: 95 to 100% occupancy in the month of April in the DR. Who knew? Now that you know this, you need to raise your prices in April for during the week and the weekend. All I'm saying, if the hotel charges $800 per night, hotel is full. Now I can charge. I know they charge $800, but nobody else. They're going to be like, it's sold out, so you can't stay there anyhow. So if I want to charge $900, so be it. Somebody's going to pay it. All right. So just keep these thoughts in mind. But all right, I'll end it. You guys have done a great job. You guys, I love that you're listening to all the information. I love that. I love you guys. I appreciate your support. Make sure you smash the like button on the way out. And again, join us November 6th through the 8th, 2023 in Punta Cana for the SSN Lifestyle Punta Cana Real Estate Investors and Business Forum. Again, in case you're not familiar, Johan Confidante, you can find him on the channel. Nestor, you can find him on the channel. Gwen, Gennaro, Mr. Estacio, they're all on the channel. All right. They'll all be at our disposal. You can ask them questions. It does not cost you. You're not going to their booth to sell you a book or to say, sign up for my whatever. There's none of this. Ask your questions. It's going to be worth thousands of dollars, because if a builder is there and you say, I want to go buy some land now in Vista Cana, for instance, or buy land at Larimar on the golf course, $105,000 is the lot. And it includes your golf membership, and they plan on selling the golf membership for $5,000 a year. I was just like, what the frick is that? Where I lived in gated communities, the golf membership is $150,000. You pay that one time. Then you have a monthly fee, which is called a consumption fee, where you have to buy like $200 per month. You're paying HOAs, $200 per month. If you don't go use it to eat, then you're just paying $200 a month. Use it against what you're going to eat, right? But it wasn't no freaking 130, 150,000 annually. It was a one-time buy. They're talking 5,000 a year And if you buy a lot in Larimar, they include the golf membership. How much is that worth over a 20-year period? That's $100,000. Well, for instance, it could be in your family for life. So what is it really worth? And by the way, do you really think it's going to be $5,000 forever? Hell no. Once they build a clubhouse, once they build a golf course, who knows? It could be 10 or 15,000 annually, the way they're talking. But the thing that blew me away, it's not a one-time cost. I was just like, what the heck? I love it. I'm here all for it. I love it. That creates another value for you and another way. But again, if you have builders and now you can have somebody build you something for $120 a square meter in a place like Larimar, that's another win. All right, ladies and gentlemen, enough of this talk and banter. Let's go. Thank you so much for being here. And once again, make sure you stay safe out here. All right, stay safe because you never know what's going to happen, and be kind to people because you never know what type of day they're having. A lot of people are being under stress and duress. So therefore, you can't blame people for snapping, for acting crazy, for having mental challenges. You just don't know what's going down. So with all that said, thank you for watching, and keep your head up. Keep moving, and I'm out.